Hi, welcome back to me, Stay on Target. I be your host, Pirate Dustin. Welcome to the show. We got lots to get into tonight. All things Skeleton Crew and all. So let's be the real good guys and get into the rundown. We've got Question of the Week. It's Skeleton Crew finale. It's the finale, episode 8 review. So let's do a pirate roundup here for the crew. First up we have Crimson Sith Nick prepping the weapons for ultimate destruction. What is up, Crimson Sith Nick?
It's the weapons.
The gun show.
Ultimate destruction.
Ultimate destruction. What guns you be preparing there, lad?
My guns.
Yep.
Yep. Where do you go from there, Dustin?
I'm not sure.
I'm not giving them much to work with.
You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
You've been working on these guns for a long time, and they truly are. In the hands of a Sith, they are truly...
In the arms of a Sith.
In the arms...
Of an angel Sith?
of the Sith.
The Sith Lord.
They are truly ultimate destruction.
Ultimate.
Aye, but next, at the helm we have Dangerous Dan, the pistol-proof pilot with his pinchers.
Now you can hear me. Pirate pinchers up. There was no audio for a minute.
Aye.
That's why I'm pistol proof.
Yeah.
Shotguns, we got another question, but pistols. I'm good.
Pistols beware it at. You know, I once was pinched by a lobster. It was about the size of Dan.
It was
And
Dan.
that's how I lost my leg. It was
It wasn't the
lobster.
war?
No, never been in any wars.
The
Too
Great
much of a
Lobster
pirate for
War.
that. The Great Lobster War of a long time ago and many seas ago. I see also here our lovely lookout, Lassie, the fact checker. How be doing there, Lassie?
I'm doing good. Your stringing of words is kind of compromised, but it's fun.
He was doing cardio workout before this.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Also, the rum. The rum will do it to you.
The rum.
but why is
Sheesh.
it gone?
It's always gone.
Why is it always gone?
It's always gone. I think some of it is in my belly.
Yeah.
But you be doing good tonight there, Lassie.
Yeah.
I am
Got
glad.
a lot to talk about. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Bismo already asked, how'd we do on the predictions? I can just laugh at that.
We be getting into that there soon there, Bismo. I like that guy, Bismo. He
Bismoney.
seemed like he'd be a good crewmate for the pirate ship. But last, but definitely not least, we have the one, the only, Hunter Davis, the Viking pirate from the south. What is up, Hunter Davis?
He's
He's
not allowed to come on until
not-
we introduce him properly.
My bad. It's the rum talk. What is up, Hunter?
Well, there you go. There's the second production budget ruined already.
Yep.
We're here chilling in the south down here where it's 5 degrees.
Cool.
Chilling
Well-
chilling to the bone.
Well, good thing you're hot and your hot takes are on the show tonight, keeping us all warm there, Hunter Davis. Thanks for joining us tonight.
No, I appreciate being here. It's always fun.
It's always fun. He burns you. Watch out, people. He's got that those hot takes. So let's get into things tonight. But before we do, fact checker, who is with us in the chat?
We've got Skylark hanging out. She is
Those Buccaneers. I love
Those Buccaneers.
those swashbucklers. I love every single one of you. Mm-hmm. That's not just the rum talking.
I don't know. They were asking about the rum. Skylark said, Nick Knock Patty Walk.
Nick Knock Pottywalk. That's me. That's my nickname when I was a young pirate.
Twas
Aw, that's fun.
many moons. It scarred him from.
Oh, no.
It did.
And we just brought it back
We
up.
brought it back. You need some rum?
But we also have Bismo hanging out. And, of course, he asked, where's the rum? And also said, Nick, you sure are powerful. Teach me the ways of the Sith. I mean, Jedi.
I will.
Hey,
He's turning. He's turning to the dark
Yeah, he
side.
is.
He be turning to the dark side? That's a dangerous place to go.
Nah.
I like
You'll
to
be
stay
fine.
right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Great.
Gray. Hey, who else be with us tonight, Factor?
And Tamerkin's hanging out.
What is up, Tamerkins?
Yeah,
Tamerkins.
good to see you.
What's up, Tamerkins? How about
Tamerkins.
that finale?
It'd be a good one.
It was a good one, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we'll get to it. For
No,
sure.
we're getting to it right now.
But yeah, if
I
you're.
think we have, some other lurkers, too.
Aye, lurkers, if you be out there, let us know. Give the old pirate salute.
What's the old pirate?
pirate salute.
That's up to
Yeah, we
you.
must know what the old pirate salute is.
I can't say it here, but it's a good one.
All right.
Maybe a hook or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Shiver me timbers.
but we're glad you're all here with us tonight. If you're watching back later, thanks for watching us. We're going to be getting into the Skeleton Crew with Pirate Dustin and the Pirate Gang. But let's continue on here. We do have a question of the week. We like to break the ice. I've been through lots of ice in me ships. Not the most fun in wooden vessels, I'll tell ya. But in this case, this is a fun one. We got question of the week. I don't know. Danny, do you have a stinger for me?
Yeah, I can play the stinger. I should play the hot take hunter.
Can you speak Bocce?
Of course I can, sir. It's like a second language to me. I'm as
All right,
fluent in-
shut up. I'll take this.
Shut up, sir.
Luke!
Aye, the question of the week be, would ye rather have the Force or get $1 billion? I want to know from everyone here with us tonight, what do you be thinking? There's lots of consequences either way.
Yes.
What do you think there, Crimson Sith? Nick?
Oh, yeah, I'll take the Force all the way.
Wow.
There's no contest at all.
Nice.
Not even a contest.
Nope.
Money is
Why?
no object.
Money
to
is no
Sith
object.
Nick.
With the Force.
With the Force. Yeah, be the line from Vades. This technological terror you've built. I love that. I miss that, Vades. He's not here with us tonight. He's feeling a little bit under the weather.
I thought you were going to say he's not here with us anymore.
Is that why he's
Take your
is
hat
that
off.
why he's sitting down behind you?
He's not here with us
against
tonight,
the
Dan.
wall.
Not here with us tonight.
He's peeking through your arms.
He's not.
We're looking around for him. Like,
He's
gonna show up.
Look, he's half the man he was before. Okay.
There he
It's
is.
time to
I saw
recover.
his face.
Is there-
It's right there.
What you don't see is the back to tank underneath.
Right.
He just wanted to be in the background.
That's right. He
We
had
need
to-
an audience. So
And this is what happens to everybody, Watto. Just so you know, all of
Yeah.
our guests eventually they end up like that on the floor back there.
Wow.
There he is. Peeking
There
through.
he is.
it'd be a true honor.
Maybe point Watto's mic down a little bit. I think he's a little offended because
Watto.
it's too tall of a microphone. You know, how, like short people stand up to tall microphones and get all mad.
I
I don't know that problem, but
I don't
Watto
either.
does.
Watto be knowing that problem, but he can fly.
Yeah,
So
that's true. He can make up
can
for
fly.
it.
he
He
makes
can
it.
rise to the
he
occasion.
can
He can rise to the
Right.
occasion.
Oh my goodness.
good.
Last
Watto, nice fact checker.
fact checker. All right. So you said the Force all the,
The
way there,
Force.
Crimson Sith Nick.
The Force.
What about ye, Danny, the pilot?
Yeah, I think I would take $1 billion credits.
Credits?
Is it credits or dollars?
Credits would do. That'll
Yeah.
do.
Okay, yeah.
Star Wars credits.
Yeah,
Why
and
would
that-
you take money over the power?
Because then
of
I'll
the
just
Force?
disappear off into the galaxy and
You
you'll
could
never
do that
hear
with the
from me
Force,
again.
though.
I could. I could become a Force ghost and never come back.
That's
Exactly.
very pirate-like of you to just take the money and run.
That's right. Take the money
Shows
and
how much
run.
he cares about all of us here.
Well, you guys would
I'm
take the
proud of
Force.
you.
I'll take the money,
I'm
and then
proud
we'll
of
work
you.
together.
I
if
like
you're
where your
running-
head's out. That's
Remember, Fact Checker won the money last time, according to the chat. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know if she hasn't shared it with us yet. No, just kidding.
Speaking of which, I'd say if it haven't yet, we did do a members-only stream last week, and we made it public just yesterday. It was a good time. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely check it out. But next up, Fact Checker.
Yes.
What be answer to the question?
Well,
See?
I want to clarify because Bismo's asking,
I know.
is this $1 billion before or after tax?
Oh.
There's no such thing as taxes when you're a pirate.
After tax.
Okay, good
So-
answer.
You do have
but-
to.
So-
This is a pirate. You're a pirate. You're taking it all. You're not giving
true.
any of that money to
Yeah.
anyone else.
Got it. So I'd be a
Hey.
pirate with the Force if that's what I choose.
I mean, it's up to you
Okay.
who you want to
But
be.
yes,
I'm not
that's what
going to tell you.
That's what I'm choosing. I would definitely choose the Force.
Although a pirate's life for me it be, so I'd happily have you on me crew.
Nice.
You already are, so part of the ship, part of the crew.
Part of
Thank
the
you.
ship, part of the
So the Force, you say? Any,
Yes.
Any
Yes.
reason for that?
Well, I mean, I just think there's so much more you can do with the Force than what you can do with money. Money doesn't buy happiness, but with the Force, you can.
Says people
Do
who don't have
different
money. I buy a lot of Legos. I'm
Well,
happy.
But you chose the Force, so why are you getting on to me?
This is hypothetical. I can't actually get the Force. You know that, right?
Well,
Right?
Well,
You know that, right?
But he does have lots of money.
But I do have lots of doubloons.
Doubloons. He's got the credits for days. Oh, well,
I
good
do.
answer there.
that's my
Fact checker.
answer. I'm sticking with
I
it.
like it. I
It's
like
a
it
lame
there.
answer.
My goodness.
Sith Nick is in full swing tonight.
Yes.
Watch out. He be ramming you with a ship.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope not.
Hunter Davis, you hot-studded man. What
studded like my snow tires.
what be your answer to the question there, lad?
You just give me the cash, man. I'm out of here. You know how many corn dogs I could buy with that,
Oh,
that
God,
amount of
Infinite corn dogs.
out of
What?
doubloons?
Corn dogs.
What a waste.
Infinitus.
That is the true measure of wealth. How many,
How many
corn,
corn
dogs,
dogs
you
can
can
you buy?
purchase?
I mean, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The
It
more
is.
corn dogs, the better life is. I'm sorry. You just drench them in mustard and you go on about your day. And you don't have to deal with the. Because if you have the Force, then you're probably going to have to use that to help people. And that just makes it something that you're going to have to consistently do on your guilt, on your conscience.
Yeah,
rather than
right.
Just give the cash away and move on. It's less work.
Hey, he's
Less
going-
emotional work is what he means.
I don't know.
Yes.
Money does require management and effort.
one
I
bit-
just say you spend it all once and then it's just
On corn dogs.
not
all
corn
that.
dogs. Unlimited supply. Like hit that subscription button on
Yeah,
Prime.
right.
It's like it's coming every 2 weeks. 16
That's right.
trillion corn dogs.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
he just bought
Yep,
all
exactly.
He just bought all the plants where they make the corn dogs.
Yep.
He has an infinite supply. He bought the mint that be making.
Mint.
The corn
corn
dog
dogs.
mint.
Right.
But
Ooh.
corn dogs, not guitars.
I mean, there'll be a few of them floating around too.
He
There'd
already,
be a few billion of those floating around.
he already has a billion guitars. He
As they
doesn't
be
need any
floating
more.
around in
Yeah,
the
that's true.
background.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's always room for more, but I'm still content with where I'm at, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
Nice.
Just you need more corn dogs.
Exactly. You could all
Yeah.
eat. Corn dogs are infinite.
I get that. I get that.
Hunter Davis,
Yep.
the pirate whose treasure is corn dogs.
Whose treasure is corn?
Right.
I mean, they are golden.
They
so-
are golden.
Yeah.
It makes
Right.
sense. That'd be what he throwing
Sometimes
into the
wealth-
acid.
Doesn't always come from money.
right.
Aye.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That'd be making sense.
Dollars
You
and
chose
cents.
the money. I'm so confused. But Bismo did say we had some corn dogs out on the ice a few days ago on Hoth. Hunter may be onto
Nice.
something here.
Hunter always be
yeah.
onto something.
You had ice
That's why he's
corn
called
dogs.
He had hot corn dogs on ice.
Oh, okay. I thought you got them from the ice, and I was like,
You know, it's like
that's weird, dude.
There's like Disney on ice and there's corn dogs on ice.
Yeah.
You know, like it's actually corn dogs ice skating around. It's
Get
pretty
your
good,
corn
pretty good
dogs
show.
here. He used the hot corn dogs to drill a hole in the ice.
Yep.
They are multi-purpose.
now the tectonic plates are shifting.
Oh man.
Aye, that'd be a good answer. What be the chat saying there, fact checker?
We've got a poll going.
I
so
like polls.
if people want to answer in the poll, they can. Okay.
I like poles.
Corn dogs come on a little poll if
They
you think
do.
about it.
That's
They
a
do.
great
A little-
point.
Little wooden stick
do.
pole.
Wooden stick pole.
right.
It reminds me of.
A little crunchy bit's the best part.
That's true. Yeah, the little nuggets around the edge.
That's like the bonus corn dog.
The
I
bonus
think.
corn
Over
dog.
there.
It's like
Gnawing
you gotta
on that
work
thing like
for
a
it.
beaver. That's right.
It's like corn dog
Break
nuggets.
a tooth, try to get to it.
You're like, did I get a piece of corn dog or a piece of tooth?
Yeah.
Or you like
That's
jam
right.
your throat because you stick it in too far.
Yeah, that's true. You get really excited and you like eat half the stick. You're like,
It'd be a worse fate than walking the plank, let me tell you. I've done both.
That's right.
unalived by a corn dog stick.
What a way
But
to
I
go.
lived.
But I lived.
That's a great way to go out if you're going to go out.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Somehow the stick was sideways in his esophagus.
Oh God.
And it has to say that on the epitaph. Something about a corn dog stick, I hope.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
My cat.
That's literally the word for word. Something about a corn dog stick.
Something about a corn dog stick. It's like, oh, I'm curious now.
Oh man.
That be reminded me of a great movie where he says everybody's dying and he says, what about my cat? Or no, what about my fish? It says eaten by the cat.
Eating my cat.
What about my fish? Joke. Or no,
Yeah.
I be mixing it up there.
You
You
did.
say it
You
there,
did.
Nick.
He said, "My goldfish Goldie, eaten by the cat. My cat choked on the goldfish."
If you name that movie reference, you be getting at least one gold doubloon from
The
Nick.
bloom.
To bloom.
Doubloon.
The bloom.
I know me pirate lingo. Says Dustin Pirate.
Yes.
Who else? What
Bring
else?
us back.
Okay,
Bring us
yeah.
back.
So starting at the top, Dan, where I asked the question, real fast, we had a few people join us. So Zarf Moto said she's lurking and she loves us.
Hi, thanks for
see
joining
you.
there.
And I know Hannah jumped in too, so said hi. So good to see
What's
you.
up, Hannah?
She's
Hannah.
also kind of lurking, but always glad
What
to have
is-
you guys.
She's always rolling
sure.
in here.
But then to answer the question, so Bismo said, force for sure, money is the root of evil.
Okay.
there you go.
The love of money is the root of all evil.
Okay, good
Aye.
clarification,
Yeah.
but you knew what he meant.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
True, true.
Money
Yeah.
itself is not evil.
Aye.
And then he followed that up with
Yep.
Dan is evil. I never knew.
Dan is
well,
evil. I never knew.
You know,
But he
in
said,
all shapes and sizes.
Pinchers up. Pinchers up.
Pictures up, people.
I mean, red. Did you not get that from the lobster?
You know that show SpongeBob?
Everybody be turning to the
Mr.
dark
Krabs is
side.
based on Dan.
Mr. Krabs is me in 5 more years or 10 more
Yep.
years, let's say. Oh yeah,
Aye.
that's awesome.
nice, yeah. And then Skylark said, no taxes on the force. I'll take the force. Good answer.
Good answer.
Right, Nick?
Nice.
Could you imagine if there was a tax on the force? Like you have to give.
Oh, man.
I don't even know. Like what would you have to give?
It just takes some
You're just
life away from
life
ya.
energy?
Yeah.
Oh.
You have
Well,
a
the
force
government
tax.
would find a way to nickel and dime you. That's
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Aye.
That's where the moral dilemma comes in, where you have to help people because they make you do it. That's your tax.
Exactly.
Aye.
Dang it! Every year I got to do this.
Not to 50.
Not to 50.
You have to give one life away.
Right.
All right.
Wow.
1 year of your life, I meant to say. The rum.
Okay, well.
Anyone else?
Yes, Tamerkin said, I'm going for $1 billion. Sorry, not sorry.
Aye.
Nice. Stick with it.
That'd be the pirate's life for you there.
We're glad
be
you're not
sorry
sorry.
Right.
Corn
Stick
dogs
to
will
your
do it.
guns. That's what I always say.
And I like the corn dog reference here. That was
Right.
pretty good.
That was good. Stick to your guns, I always say. Unless they have more guns, then you set those down.
Then you set those down and surrender.
Better to surrender and live another day and be a pirate again.
We must fight
Or come back with
to
more
run
guns.
away.
Or I
Or that,
spoken
yeah.
like a true pirate there, Hunter.
You know
right.
what? Or just up the ante and get powder kegs.
There you go.
Who needs guns when you can blow everything up?
We
Spoken like a true Sith.
Yeah.
then the stream just shut down. No, just kidding.
Did it really? Oh.
We have been
Now it did.
flagged.
Now it did. Okay, good. Got it.
We have been flagged.
That's right. We have been
Pirate flag.
Pirate flagged. Oh,
The Jolly Roger.
skulls up.
Right. Pinchers up.
Pictures
Yeah,
up.
stick with the pinchers.
Pinchers. Okay. All right. Better.
Skylark also said, plus once you get the money, or I'm sorry, once you spend the money, it's gone. Hence why
Yeah.
the force is the better answer. Right,
Yeah,
Nick?
I think it's the more moral
Yeah.
answer. I think it's true, but it just depends on whether you can. With much power, great power comes great responsibility. Spidey.
Spidey senses.
Also,
Yeah,
depends
like
on how
that
you
ended for Uncle
use.
Ben.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Also depends on how you use the money. for the moral answer. You might give a lot away to help a lot of people, but there are a lot of consequences with a lot of money.
You might invest it poorly.
Yes, like I did.
No. Did you see what Bismo said then? Just kidding. It's not a poor thought. He said, I would buy the Chicago Bears and save the franchise.
That
he
might
said-
be the
Enough
more
money in the
noble
world
cause.
to make that happen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Not enough
Bears
money in the
doing-
world.
No. But he said, though I'd say Bears are better off than the Vikings and Green Bay at the moment.
I don't know. A lot of football heads are rolling at both those places.
Yeah.
But then again, what was it that the Vikings didn't want the Lombardi Trophy so bad? I can't remember. Or something like that. Did you see that meme today? It was so funny.
No.
About losing. Like
Just
they
had to be
they
there, I guess.
They hate Green Bay so bad that they they did everything they could to not win the Lombardi Trophy or
Yeah.
something like that. Because wasn't Lombardi like a coach at Green Bay?
Yeah.
Football.
Yep.
Football.
So much football. I love when heads be rolling.
Yeah. Speaking of heads rolling, Dan, could you turn my headphones down because I can't hear myself think.
Are your ears bleeding?
Yes.
His ears be
It's
bleeding.
very loud in
Yeah.
here.
Let me see.
It's okay. It's okay. What else there,
But
fact checker?
let's see. Well, Sonia did jump in.
Hey, Sonia.
So good to see you.
Thanks for jumping
And Skylark was asking, so is Dan made of money?
in.
That's a good question.
Of
Well,
course he is.
He's red. He's a lobster.
he's made of more money than we could ever imagine.
Maybe.
Maybe computer parts. We don't know. We might find out later.
Oh, yeah. Interesting tease. Okay. And so otherwise, yeah, if you haven't already, vote in the chat.
Vote in the chat.
Bismo is a little disappointed by what's winning in the chat right now. But hey, to
Wait,
each
what's
their
winning?
own.
Oh.
Money.
But I will say, I've not given my answer yet, Pirate
Ooh,
Dustin.
that might sway.
I was going to pick the money, being a pirate and all,
wow, okay.
but I picked the Force. You want to hear? Do you want to know why?
Nope.
It
Yes.
be because I'm a pirate. I love be chasing the treasure.
Yeah.
And if I could use the Force in different ways to get me treasure, it might be different kinds of treasure. But the chase is where the fun is at. If you already have it, then what's the point?
Yep.
You know what I be saying?
It's literally like,
The thrill of the hunt.
yeah.
the-
it's
the rest
death
of
of
the-
a pirate when you get all your money.
Plus, then you got pirates coming out of the woodwork. They all want a piece of your money. Mm-hmm. So I be choosing the Force, because then I could knock them from a week away, smack them in the head with the Force.
Time. use it
Take
to
lessons from
manipulate
Pirate
time.
Sabine.
What that be, Hunter?
So you take lessons from Sabine.
There you go.
That's a hot take.
Advanced coffee cup moving lessons.
Oh, my goodness.
Right.
Let's not get into that.
Force pushes all day long.
Oh, my goodness.
Step 1, force push across a dangerous chasm.
I think they.
That's right.
When I watched that, I think I had a force pushing my bowels.
In your brain.
In your brain cells.
3 days ago, couldn't move a cup.
That's right.
Next day, can shove a human male like 40 feet in
Yep.
the air.
Maybe more like 100. It
Yeah.
was like a football field.
Hondo.
That's the fourth kid.
Yep.
That's the force
He
for
might
you.
have, although I did see a video where there was a flatulent sound as he was flying. He does have the force as well. So it's possible that he used an ancient technique
Ancient technique.
called the force fart. And it does give you an extra boost and jump. It's basically a second jump.
Force flatulence.
That's right.
That's what I be saying. I've heard it before. I've smelled it before.
I've
That's
smelled
worse.
it before.
Yeah.
Was used in battle on me once. That's how I lost my eye.
Pink eye.
Eye, what that be?
Force pink eye.
Yeah, it was tragic. It was tragic in so
yes.
many ways. What you be saying there, fact checker? Save me.
Well, Sonia was
Save me.
saying, was the quote from Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, it
Aye.
was.
Good job, Sonia.
You get a Wookie cookie. I meant gold doubloon Wookie cookie.
The bloom?
Doubloon? Is it doubloon?
It's N.
Is
The
it?
balloon.
Fact checker, fact check
I
this.
will fact
It's
check.
doubloon.
It's doubloon.
but
Have
don't
you
forget
said
your
doubloon?
doubloomers.
I'm a pirate.
How did you get a doublooma
It's the rum.
from school?
I got a doublooma.
Have you
That's
been
what-
saying
That's
doubloon
what you get when you
your
graduate.
whole life?
That's what you get when you graduate from pirate school. You get a doubloon.
You're telling me
I just want everybody
you
to
ended
be
it with an
educated.
M instead of an N
Aye.
for How old are you? Like 50?
At least.
At least 50
At
years?
least 50 years.
How is that possible?
It's longer than you. When I was your age, I was older.
Yeah.
It's an
How
old
old are
age.
you?
I think
5.
it's the
When I was
ride.
your age, I
Those
was
old
6.
credits, we're never getting to the show.
The
Yeah.
bloomers.
The bloomers.
But yes, Tamerkins confirmed
Double
it.
oon. Yes.
It ends with an N.
Aye.
Yeah.
That
This show
works.
is like 90% of just making fun of Dustin.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's
When
it.
you're here, Nick.
The flowers are blooming in the
We missed
spring.
you.
This is like my whole purpose on the show.
Pretty much, yeah.
He is a Sith Lord.
There's a rail. Watch Nick D rail it.
Derail it.
Aye. It be true. It
Who's
be
Nick
true.
D?
What's
I
the
don't know.
poll saying, fact
Okay,
checker?
so let's finish it.
Finish it.
Finish it. Yes.
Okay, so $1 billion has won by 55%, and then 44% said the Force.
This was pretty close. It was almost 50-50
Yeah,
by
definitely.
one person
Aye.
or two or three.
One per.
It'd be the pirate life for the Gunkers, I believe.
Mm, I think so.
That's fine with
Yeah.
me. You
But the-
do you.
But the Force got popular vote.
Yep.
Just kidding. Wait a
Oh
second.
my
Oh,
goodness.
don't go
Oh,
there.
no,
Don't go there.
Don't be bringing that into
Just
things.
kidding. Yeah. All right. So that's it. See you guys.
Yep.
Have
That's
a good night.
That's our show.
That's it. Thanks
It
for
was a
watching.
great last episode. We're out.
That's right. It was pretty good. It was a good show. Yeah. Skeleton Crew.
Aye, thanks for the poll. Thanks for answering that question. And thanks for being here tonight with us on the show. If you haven't yet, go ahead and smash the like button and comment, subscribe, tell your
The
friends.
music throws you off, doesn't
Tell
it?
your enemies. Tell your frenemies about us. And pirates. If you have any pirates in your life, tell them as well. But we just want to continue to grow this wonderful community together with all of you, because with all of us together, we can make Star Wars.
Blubber.
Blubber. I be loving the blubber.
You can make a lot of candles from blubber.
You can.
You can.
You can also make a lot of blubber nuggets.
Blubber nuggets. Is that similar to corn dogs?
Yes.
They're chewy.
They're chewy.
The world used to run on blubber, if you know about it.
Yep.
Yeah. It did.
Oil, man.
Whale, man.
Whale oil.
Aye, well, we're going to be getting into the rest of the show here. We're going to be jumping into Skeleton Crew Episode 7, non-spoilers. But before we do, Pirate Dustin's going away.
Got him.
I can't do the rest of the show that way.
No, yeah. Oh, hey, Dustin.
Oh, hey, guys, I'm back.
Dude, like Pirate Dustin was just here a minute
He
ago.
was just here.
He was like Nick was making fun of him a lot.
I'm glad that guy left. I hate him.
Yeah.
He stole my...
He said doubloons.
Yeah, he said gold doubloon. What idiot says
Wasn't he?
that?
Right. I mean, there's nobody that would ever say that.
say that.
But a pirate, you know. He kept saying rum, you know.
Right.
On this show? That is
Yeah.
not right.
I know. This is a kid's show.
We're gonna
family
dock
friendly.
We're gonna dock his pay for sure, 100%.
Oh,
for
for
that
sure.
condo.
Dock his pay.
We're gonna take $1
He's a
billion.
pirate.
We're gonna
Pirate
take $1
docks.
billion. Yeah, doc pirate jokes.
Yeah, pirate puns, quips.
Pirate puns for days.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of pirate puns, let's be getting into the show here. Hit me with some pros and cons of the finale. The Real Good Guys, I believe, is the title.
The
of
real
this.
good guy.
I like that.
And I did like that as well. But give me some pros and cons, guys. What'd you think of the finale of Skeleton Crew?
Meh.
Don't hit me at once.
That was a pretty good meh pro. Good frequency. It was like a
I mean,
flat.
it was it was a little longer than the previous episodes.
So that's a pro or a con?
It's a pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like more content is always good.
Yep.
But also it was like it's kind of it didn't end with a bang, really, for me. It was it was an all right ending.
Yeah.
It was adequate.
Yeah.
That was it.
So that's a con.
That's a con.
Or is that a prawn?
It's a prawn.
It's a thrawn.
Raw prawns.
what?
Yes.
Prawn?
Yeah, that's definitely a
To Merkin's
prawn.
con, it was the last episode.
Aye,
I
that-
mean,
Yeah,
it's true. It
that's
has
true.
because it
It's
has
true.
been fun watching
Yeah.
along and week to week, and you know how are they gonna? You know, then it's like all of a sudden there's this pressure on the final episode to like deliver something or not deliver something, and I feel like for that reason it survived. You know, because there's another stigma around terrible Disney Plus season finales or series finales, all of which have usually left you found wanting.
Yeah.
And this one, I think, at least landed safely. basically.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not spoilers, but
Another happy
basically,
landing.
basically continuing, in a way that didn't shut all the doors.
Also, that's kind of a con. It was a safe landing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a pretty safe landing. Yeah.
It was one of our better landings.
Another happy landing.
Yeah.
Who just sneezed? Did you guys hear that?
I think it was Pirate Dustin as he was leaving.
What?
Yeah.
Get that guy out of here.
Maybe Watto.
Maybe
Yeah.
it was water. What? Oh man, that would be a trumpet sound of a sneeze. I think.
Probably.
Probably.
Like a,
Yeah, I like that. Wow. Okay, that cleared my sinuses.
his sinuses were congested.
What about
Only
you?
got a whistle out.
He's got the whistle out. What about you, Hunter? What do you think? You got some pros and cons for me?
Yeah, pros, Wendell. Cons,
Yeah.
Wendell.
Wendell.
Once again, Wendell steals the show.
Yep.
Some plot conveniences there. Questions weren't answered, and that's a con.
Yep.
Those are the main ones for me. Safe landing, but I enjoyed it though. They could have
Yeah.
done way worse, so I'll give them credit for that.
Oh, we've definitely seen worse.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, they do have a stigma, or AKA, in my opinion, a fact of not sticking the landing. At least they have a landing on this one. So
Yeah.
Right.
we'll see what happens in hopefully season 2.
Right.
They have to make season 2 at this point.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Really?
know if they're going to.
Really? Oh, they're
No,
going to.
they're going to.
I feel like that was it.
Well,
it was a setup.
yeah. It
Actually,
did.
I'll
It
say- I'll
was
say-
super abrupt.
Yeah, I'll say they might have a season 2. I think it's more dependent on other Star Wars
Yeah.
Yeah,
things
that's true.
at this point.
Sure.
I think according to the fans and people who actually watch the show, I think everybody wants a second season
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
seen it.
I'm not saying
But-
I'm not saying I don't want to see one.
Right.
I'm just saying like I don't know if they're gonna do one.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, fact checker, you got some pros and cons for me?
I mean, you guys have said a lot of ones that I disagree with.
Okay,
agree
name
with,
them.
Agree with.
Yeah, sure. Change your statement now.
I like
She's
it.
always on the offensive, and I don't understand it.
Right, Nick?
Yeah.
Or is it the
She's always
defensive?
backed into a
She's
corner, man.
always
That's
on
why.
the
Yeah,
true.
thank you.
Off
Thank you for
defensive.
recognizing.
All right.
back into a corner.
That
She's
will
on
not
the other
be
side of the
happening
room.
again.
What?
He will not defend her again.
That will not be yeah, that will not
I
be
will
I
not.
know. I won't
What's
get
wrong
used
with
to
you?
It.
She works best under pressure, so
Right.
Sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And the bullets start
the
flying.
bullets start flying. She is cool and collected.
I don't know.
She's the one shooting the bullets.
Where did we go?
Okay, let me just answer.
Yeah, what are your pros and cons?
Yeah, I thought there was some good action. The story moved, but a prawn was that sometimes the
Prawn.
story felt a little slow because they did have about an hour or whatever it was.
Like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I could have been tired. So it kind of felt like at first I'm like, all right, sweet. They're really going to develop this story. And then there are moments where I'm like, all right, you're kind of dragging this out a little bit too much. But
yeah.
overall, it was good. And yeah, so action. We got more of certain characters I like. Funny parts, cons with other characters. And we did get answers. So I like answers.
What answers?
Yeah. Oh,
Well, I can't spoil
What were
it.
your questions? Is this a Star Wars show?
I'll-
Yes. Yes,
Thank
it
you
was.
for clarifying that.
I'd say cons are our predictions didn't all come true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one of the biggest
That
cons.
is true. Dang it.
But no, good. Those are some good ones. Fact checker. Dan, did we get your pros and cons?
I think there wasn't a. I kind of rambled. There wasn't like a con. Maybe there wasn't a moment in the show that made my jaw drop.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so, but again, there wasn't a moment that I completely
You were
rolled
like,
my eyes and
"Oh,
left the
God."
room either. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, there were some moments with Wendell
Somehow
that made
they-
me laugh so hard.
Somehow the Emperor returned.
Somehow the Emperor, and yeah, Wendell just was just like, oh man, this is like
Yeah.
finally we got a whole episode of Wendell.
Yep.
I was like, why do they have to end it with him? But at the same time, I was just kind of like laughing. It kind of changed the tone for me. But again, there wasn't like a crazy thing that like blew it over the top for me. So
Right. No, I think that's fair. I think that's how a lot of people are feeling.
Yeah.
And
that's fine.
It's not. Yeah, it's a tough place to be right now because the show as a whole, I think, is pretty solid. I'd say this episode was actually one of its weaker episodes. They tried for some big stuff in some ways, but it did feel too safe for, I think, what the rest of the show built it up to be. And I think some of our expectations, and the biggest con for me actually was, it's a pro and a con, I guess, Prawn. Depending on if we get a second season, they left us with, I think, still more questions than answers. They really did not answer, in my opinion, everything that they should have in the end of this season. For the questions we had, even in the prediction stream, I can think of multiple that they did not answer.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that.
Tamerkins
it's a little dangerous, but
said in an interview. Okay, sorry. I just had to check, see if it was spoilers.
No, you're good.
She heard Watson Ford say if they do a season 2, there will be a time jump involved, and the characters could show up in the Mando movie. They didn't specify which characters, though.
That would be cool.
That'd be really cool.
So.
I'd be fine with that.
I'd like to see them like older in the next season.
The
teenagers.
I mean, no matter
maybe.
what,
Yeah.
I think they will.
Well,
be
I mean,
older.
I know they will be, but like,
time has passed.
Yeah.
they're actually like the
Mature.
crew of the ship and stuff like that.
Well,
That'd be
and
cool.
if you jump time, like, because obviously, well, we can't talk spoilers, but things have
we're
changed
still non-spoilers.
in this particular galaxy for them now. So they might have seen some stuff now.
I've seen some stuff.
Like they've obviously, this show was kind of fun because it was like chill. It was like kind of a coming of age story. The kids who were very sheltered and protected on this bubble planet now had to experience the chaos, and there were some good lines for that. I feel like there were some teachable moments. It was just interesting that the children were doing the teaching to the parents.
Right. That
Which was kind of funny to me, but that's kind of like a Disney MO thing.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's also kind of reminiscent of the time era that they were going for. The 80s time era that happened a lot in a lot of different movies.
Well, the parents were pretty useless. That's why the kids had to go take care of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they were and they weren't in
this
this show.
In the defense of this, in some ways, with the parents, I will say they had been brainwashed their whole entire lives as well. So in some ways, it does sometimes take kids to question things.
Yeah, I like that part of it. Yeah.
But like compare them in this episode to them in the I think it was the episode before last one. Where
sixth
they're
episode?
trying to get that beacon out.
Oh, right.
Like, that's going against the grain. This one they were just like, "Oh, our kids are back. Now we can be normal again."
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Like their adventure just died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's before we can talk more about this into the spoiler section of the show. We'll finish up some pros and cons. Does anyone have any more pros and cons before we rate this? I want to rate it, and I want to get into.
Why didn't we play the stinger for pros and cons?
Oh, I didn't even think about it.
I lost the stinger a long time
Pros
ago.
and cons.
There we go.
I
You
need to
did it.
rework it. You did it.
That was perfect.
You should use that as a soundbite.
I might now. It's short.
Yeah.
Do it. All right. Yeah. So there was a decent amount of pros, I'd say, in this, but for me, it's a safe landing is not always the most interesting landing, and I think that's what it was. It was safe. It didn't destroy anything, but it didn't. It just wasn't as much as I think we were hoping it would be.
It was an interesting turn for a finale, I guess, or not turn. It just felt like they're like, all right, we got like $75 million left in the budget for CGI. I think we're dropping in now.
Yeah, a lot of
that's not a spoiler, but I was like, there was a lot of CGI in this one.
Was.
I was like, man, they are using that budget, and it was, it was kind of cool. I mean, I appreciated that, but that's where sometimes Star Wars steps in too much visual noise and not enough character. And this show so far has done a great job of balancing visual noise and keeping that at a minimum and just making it work.
That's a great point.
So I should have said that for the spoilers. Now I blew it.
That's okay.
You blew it.
Repeat it, right?
No, I doublooned it.
You doublooned it. That idiot.
But I guess I'll repeat that. Somebody just play that clip back in the spoiler section.
Yeah,
that's you. You're in charge of that.
Yeah, you're in charge.
Shoot, I don't know. Hit the buttons.
Wendell.
Wendell. It's definitely it's definitely not a positive connotation when you call somebody a Wendell.
Right.
Well, Depends. We'll get into that more in spoilers.
That's true. That's true.
But all right, let's rate this puppy so we can move on to spoilers. Hunter, what are you rating this, homie? Out of 7 C's.
Out of 7 C's, level 7 loser Wendell, I'm gonna give it.
Level 7.
Positive.
We'll do 4.5.
4.5.
Give it 4.5.
All right. Just above passing.
A midshipman.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any other thoughts you want to expand on that real quick before we move on to someone else?
Nah, we'll save it. We'll save it for the end.
Okay. No, that's totally fair. All right. What about you, Dan? What are you rating this one out of 7 C's?
Yeah, I'm struggling here. I'm riding the struggle ship.
Struggle boat.
Struggle. I honestly like. I want to give it like a 6, but I'm struggling getting it up that high. So I'm just gonna go 5.5. But that makes it the lowest of the season for me. So
Yeah.
now I feel bad.
Yeah.
But I think I have to do it. I have to do it. It's a 5.5 out of 7. You know, it was a dip at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know, he's about at the finish line and he trips on his shoelaces, and you're like, but he still finished.
Right.
He just wasn't first.
Wasn't
place.
first,
He
no.
was third.
And they didn't drop a horrible bomb that ruined the whole
Right.
show.
No.
You know?
Not even close. Yeah.
So
5.5 out of 7. So.
Which is kind of how we have to
KB
rate
will
Star
fix
Wars
it.
at this point. What was that?
I say KB will fix it.
KB can fix anything.
KB
That's true.
can
Oh
fix
yeah,
anything.
yeah, she'll fix it.
Yeah.
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 All right, fact checker. What about
Yeah.
you? What are you rating this out of 7 C's?
Well,
That's the other side, you see.
okay, when it got to the end of the episode end of the episode, I sat there for a minute and really contemplated my reaction. And
She fell asleep.
no, almost, but no. But so I paused and felt like, kind of a little bit disappointed overall. But then the more I thought about it, I reminded myself it was a kid's show. They did kind of cover. They didn't go off into left field with this episode. So it fit along with everything else. Maybe you guys said that already. But so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 7.
Okay. That's
Yep.
totally fair.
Wow.
Nice. The more you thought about it, it grew on you.
I mean, in parts. There was
Yeah,
plenty
yeah.
of cons, but
Right.
overall, and maybe that's me looking more at the whole season, so it might not be perfect.
Well, that's still pretty good, though. I mean, that's
didn't mind it.
First season finale, yeah.
Yeah. No, not bad. What about you, Crimson Sith Nick?
I'll probably have to go 5.25.
Okay.
5.25.
Yeah. I mean, I still enjoyed myself. I still enjoyed watching it. It was a good show. Even if the finale was me. It was still fun. They did leave a lot of questions, though. Yeah. There's just some stuff that went unanswered, and I'm like, okay. And then, when it ended, I was like, seriously? That's where they're going to end it? It was just, I felt like I was missing something.
Yeah.
They didn't shoot a scene that they were supposed to shoot, and it just ended. And I was like, what? And I'm waiting, till after the credits.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm
Me
like,
too, yeah.
where's the post-credit
Yeah,
scene?
you
want-
What's happening?
It did make you want a post-credit scene. You're
It
like,
100%
okay.
did. I was like, there's got to be something else. It
Yeah.
just felt too abrupt, like
Yeah.
you
It
said,
was.
in some ways, for it to
Yeah.
be give us something.
Yeah.
Give us a little tease.
Like Hondo
Give us a
Hondo
little taste.
rescuing somebody or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that would have been interesting. I agree. That's a great point. So 5.25, you said.
5.25.
All right, out of 7 C's, not bad, not bad.
9 pieces of 8.
9. Oh, well. Getting real piratey here. But I think for me, I'm gonna go. It was a little weaker. I'm gonna go 5.5 on this one. I think probably one of my lower scores as well.
Yeah, I think that's the lowest one I've given this whole
5.25.
series.
Yeah, no, for sure. I thinking about it a few different ways. It did bring it slightly back up, and I feel like one of the biggest things that we're just judging Star Wars at this point is it didn't destroy the lore. It didn't make us hate Star Wars. Not hate, but it didn't make us apathetic towards Star Wars. And it was a fun time. But really, if you view it from your 12-year-old self, that's kind of what I was thinking of it. If I watched this show as a 12-year-old, I think I would have really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And really,
It doesn't make, you don't think about these things when you're 12.
right, no.
You don't think about the questions that we still have.
You think about the fun adventure and,
Yeah.
and the sense of hope that it
Yeah.
actually gave at the end
Yeah.
as well. Non-spoilers, sorry. But I'd say that was. I think that was a pro in a lot of ways. I did see what Temurgan said here as well. Nobody said it yet, but it's still a pro. Jude Law's acting. I agree. Jude Law was definitely
we're all
solid
thinking
in this.
it.
We're all thinking it. Temurgan's
Okay,
is
settle
reading our
down over
brains.
there.
Yeah, he did. He did bring it.
He crushed
again.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. He carries this show for the most part. But I think the other characters came along and fit in pretty well with his acting.
Yeah, they did a good job of managing them all together. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think these are some fair takes on the 7 Cs here, what we're rating it. But what is everybody in the chat? What are the Gonkers saying? Fact checker, what are they giving us on their rating for this episode?
Let's see. Well, Bismo said finale 5 out of 7. Show overall 6.25 out of 7.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So a pretty good rating
All right, that's-
overall. But even for the episode, that's not terrible.
That was where I was
Kinda
going to
what
go
you guys
next.
said.
He is he knows what's going on because I was
Yeah.
going to say after we give the ratings, what's your show total rating? I guess, but
Okay.
so he
Show
gave us his.
total.
But let's finish up with the
Show
chat,
total.
and then we'll jump back into our ratings for the whole season.
Yeah, and Merkins gave it 5 out of 7 for the
Okay.
episode.
Yep.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's pretty
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and you got a poll going as well.
Yeah.
So as we got the poll going,
You mean end this one and start one
yeah,
for this?
let's do that.
the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
season?
So what
Season.
are they saying in the poll?
Okay, so rating it good 4 to 6 is the leader. I
That's the
guess.
leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
66.
For the episode. And then 33% gave it 7. So according to this, you 1%, but it says 0% gave it anything less than a
Right.
4 to 6.
Isn't that funny?
But it's just math.
How 2/3?
Math.
It's always
It's a good
66 and 33.
Yeah, it breaks.
And it's like, yeah, then you think about it and you're like, that's only 99.
Yeah.
So one of them has to be 67 or 34.
They just put a
Number
M-
conspiracy.
Number
Instead
conspiracy.
of
Number
an
conspiracy.
Why are they doing this to us? Is that how the algorithm works?
Could be, actually.
Pretty much.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
That explains a lot. Sonia gave it a 5 out of 10
Oh,
for
wow.
the episode, for the finale. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Finale
that's
episode,
totally fair.
yeah.
I get it. It's not. It's
That was like our average here.
Not the greatest, but
Right.
it was still fun.
Okay, so no one's saying like 0 negative.
No.
You know, they
Right,
would never watch
yeah.
it. I'm going to take that out of the overall season poll so we can kind of drill in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Does that make
Drill
sense?
down. Okay.
Yeah, no,
All
that
right.
makes
Dig
sense.
deeper.
Yeah. So here, Hunter, what are you giving the season overall of Skeleton Crew out of 7 Cs? What are you gonna rate it?
Oh.
Oh, 6 out of 7. I think it's pretty fair. It did a fantastic job for most of it. So that's how I feel, at least on it. So I think it deserves a 6 out of 7. It's definitely the best show they've come out with in a long time.
Yep.
I think there's a lot of people out there that are unfortunately sleeping on it just because of the bad taste that's been left in their mouth with things in the past. So that's kind of a shame. Hopefully that changes. Because, like I said, I haven't really seen much content about anybody talking about it.
Right.
Right.
Which is kind of weird. But at the same time, the last show they did kind of ruined it for a lot of people.
Ouch.
So,
Yeah.
Right, for sure. And we'll be getting into that a little bit more in the after stream that we got going on for members only. So if you're not a member yet, definitely become a member now. It's less than a candy bar a month.
It's $199
It's
a month.
$1.99 a month.
Inflation.
Candy bars are very expensive.
Yeah, they've gotten very
But
expensive.
if you have $1 billion, it's cheap.
Yeah, but
Right.
I have the force. I can just whoop, get it.
Just get it.
I'm not
goes
promoting
into the
stealing. I'm promoting piracy.
Oh my goodness.
I like
forced
it.
piracy.
Forced piracy.
right.
Forced piracy.
Forced piracy? You have to steal this. Why? Because you're a pirate.
Right.
That's awesome. Well, yeah. Well, so we're going to talk about that and more in
Yeah,
the
in the
members
after
only.
stream, members only. So
Ooh.
become a member right meow, and you can watch that after this stream. It'll be a good time.
Epic.
But great takes there, Hunter. Fact checker, you got something?
Yeah.
I heard your breath. Your inhale.
Yeah, she's going.
No, that's how I know you have something to say, though. So
Surprised you can hear that.
it's a good cue.
Oh yeah, we know.
Okay, well, let me talk
Go
then.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody can
Instead
hear
of
it.
commenting on everything I do before my actual comment.
You look great today, though, fact checker.
Oh, thank you.
Just want you to know that.
Bismo said, I liked that it did something new, breath of fresh
Yep.
air. Feels similar vibes to the first show with Mando season 1, almost from what I was feeling and while watching.
Nice.
What's that you always say, Dan? A fresh of Fresh of
breath air.
Fresh breath air.
That's exactly what this show
It wasn't quite a breath of fresh air, but it was a fresh of breath air.
Yep.
That's for sure.
No, for sure. Yeah, and we'll dive into that a little bit more in spoilers as well.
Yeah.
But Nick, what are you saying for the whole season? Did I already ask you? I asked the fact checker.
No, you asked Hunter.
100. Okay.
But I'll say the same thing he did, and I'll say 6 out of 7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Solid.
it was really solid.
Solid.
It was the best show since Andor. Best live action since Andor.
There we go.
I think that's
I
fair.
like it.
That's totally fair. What about you, fact checker? What's your rating out of 7 C's for the whole show?
6.5 out of 7.
Nice.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I did really like it. And like
There you
Tamerkin said, I would rewatch it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
True
That is-
watchable.
that is huge.
It is.
It does have a lot of rewatchability. That's one of those shows you could turn on like in the background or while you're doing something or like just whatever, and you can just laugh along with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. You're gonna have a
So,
good
yeah,
time.
no,
Yeah,
agreed.
see all the Neil nuggets or
Oh
The
my
Neil
gosh,
Nuggets.
Neil
the
Nuggets.
other Easter eggs.
yeah.
The Neil Nuggets were quality.
Yeah.
The Jod acting, the silliness.
Yeah, I watched some of these episodes twice, and that did not disappoint me on the second
Wow.
time. I actually
Right.
saw more
Right.
that I missed, and that's why I think leads to a little bit more of the intelligent writing and directing of this show. It was well acted. There was a lot of things, so that's a great take. What
Yeah.
about you, Dan? Out of 7 C's for the entire.
Yeah, I really want to give it a 7. If this episode had really kind of knocked me off of my seat,
Right? Like Hondo showed up.
Yeah, like some
Right.
kind of a moment that was just like that was so good.
Yeah.
Or the reveal was something maybe a little bit more dramatic or
Right.
or deeper. But so for that reason, I'm gonna go 6.5. I hate to share a number with other people, but that's where my heart says. So
Sorry, Dan, I ruined it.
it's not your
for you.
fault. No, I mean this. It's just I'm just being honest. It's as close to
He's
7
just
as I
teasing.
can be. It hurts me, but no, I'm just kidding.
What'd you say, Hunter?
I said he's over there seething because fact checker got to go first on her number. So.
Right. Dan's just like,
Shoot, I should have let Dan
It's
go
just-
first. I forgot.
You can't but you can't deny it. I actually wanted to say 7, and
Yeah.
because it was a 7 week to week wanting to watch the next episode. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
like Max, ready to
Yeah.
watch the next episode, and so
we're ready.
I watched it with my 13-year-old son, and he loved every episode.
Yep.
And he even has a pretty good eye and understands when shows are dropping the ball and stuff like that. So I felt like, the enjoyment of every episode was there. Even getting it was pumped for the season finale. Obviously now we're excited for a season 2 if they can push it,
right.
And they could even grow and get better from here. But just what they gave us, I have some theories as to why maybe it started. It had a little bit of a
A dip.
curve at the end. I think I can explain a little bit of that, but I don't know if I can explain it. But I can give some theories. So,
Nice.
but 6.5.
All right, no, that's totally fair. I'm gonna go with 6 1/4. I think I'm kind of going in between others, but it was good. It was a solid show. I agree with all of your takes on it. I think, in my opinion, character development is a huge thing for me, and I think they actually did a great character development, and we actually cared about the characters, which is a far cry from a lot of other shows. I'd say the only dip, really for me, was that last episode, and it wasn't a dip so far that it made me dislike it from all
Right.
it was. I really believe that people who miss this show, I think if Andor is good, I think a lot of people are in between watching Andor are going to go back and watch this show. That's my prediction. I think this is going to get a little bit more of a cult following after the fact. I think most people were so turned off by the Acolyte and the state of Star Wars that they didn't watch this show basically just because of that. It's the whole Last Jedi thing, because the Last Jedi happened and then nobody watched Solo. It lost money.
Yep.
And the same things happened with Obi-Wan and Andor, and now with Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. This is where we're at. But I think it is a fantastic show. Definitely worth a watch. So much more intelligent writing. A fun show to watch and rewatch, and to watch with your kids, and to watch with anybody. That's the fun thing about it, and I think it captures a lot of the magic of Star Wars, while not being beholden to the lore of Star Wars and all of the member berries that they throw in a lot of the time. So I definitely give them kudos for that.
It makes it nostalgic.
Yes,
Really, because it reminds me of like Dan's favorite movie, The Goonies, and Hook. and
Hook, yeah.
So many, man. So many.
E.T. a little bit.
E.T.
yeah, Treasure Planet,
Yeah.
E.T.
Yeah.
Wally.
Yeah,
They
all the
pulled-
stuff that you watched when you were a kid, and then you're watching this, and you're like, yeah, this is it. This is where it's happening.
Yeah, that's the fun thing. And then, but also why those are so good and why they still have like cult followings and people still like watching them is because it's a movie or show that you can watch with your kids.
Muppet Treasure Island.
It's a movie and show you can watch with your kids, and both the adults and the kids can enjoy the show. And I think this one really captured that, and is what I think is more Star Wars based than a lot of things that have come out.
Yep.
Not that I'm saying that Star Wars can't venture into some more like darker territory and lighter territory in
Right.
some ways. It's just got to be done right. And the biggest thing though that we've been wanting this whole time is kind of new stories in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not
And-
everybody's a Solo or a Skywalker or a
Yeah.
Palpatine.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a different style.
It's getting overdone. It's old.
Yeah, it is. Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah. Again.
Again. Freaking again.
Freaking again.
But so I think that is one of the things I got to give it props to that, because that's what I've been saying. We've been saying here for a long time is, yeah, do a pirate movie style 80s genre flick in Star Wars. Like that's what they did, and it worked. It worked really well.
I don't think anybody said like let's do a pirate '80s flick in Star Wars.
No,
Nobody put those two together.
we
but
never just said that
But
necessarily.
they would have said
you know,
'80s flick maybe.
You use formulas that work.
Yep,
Right.
exactly.
That's
And then
the point.
You know, it was refreshing not having all the drama behind the
Yeah.
scenes of like the
Yes.
directors and they got recast
Yeah.
and this actor left and there was a problem on set and it's like there's none of that. It's just like John Watts rocked it out. Everybody had fun.
Yeah.
And
The kids were fun.
and the kids, and then the marketing was horrible. But no, I'm kidding. They just didn't know how to market it.
Yeah.
Kind of like they did a good job. Everything that they did was
Yeah.
decent. But I'm saying the show is so much better than the marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
they actually had a good thing on their hands, and they're
Yeah.
like, let's just kind of put a couple of commercials out and have the kids do some, talk shows. And I'm like,
Were
you
they-
could have done so much more.
Were they afraid of spoiling it, do you think?
It's possible, but
I-
there wasn't
I-
like huge. It just doesn't feel like there were huge spoilers.
I think
Right.
that
You could
is
be right.
more a bigger problem with Lucasfilm in general and who's in charge, because they promoted the heck out of the Acolyte,
yeah.
which was hot garbage.
Well, see,
and
because-
that's what they believed in
That's
more,
the
and that's
reason
what they
why I didn't
liked
get
more.
promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that, Hunter?
I think that's the reason why I didn't get promoted more,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Because it wasn't woke.
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't go with
Yeah.
what they really wanted to push. I mean,
It changed
that
the-
they
Yep.
seen,
which is
they
crazy.
seen how
Which
much it bombed too. So
Yeah.
right, and that's what
Yeah.
shows you the leadership at Lucasfilm right now, in my opinion. Like how they totally do not know their fan base. They do not know the material, and they would rather push something on you than give you the fans and everybody what they want to see.
Yep.
And that's why they
Which
didn't
is more
promote
of
it.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes to show like whoever's in charge is gonna do what they want to do, and then I don't care. They don't care if the fans want it. They don't care if
Right.
the rest of the people that work for them want it. And
Yeah.
until you get somebody like
Right.
John Watts who steps up and he's like,
Yeah.
this is how you make good Star Wars. Like it's
Yeah.
a simple story. It's fun. We got kids. We'll target the kids and make it fun, and but make it fun for the adults too. It's like, how do they do that
Yep.
and make it, still enjoyable for 8 episodes, which I cannot believe that it was an 8 episode thing. I hate that formula.
Right.
Wow.
It just has been so badly done and like just fluff here, but there wasn't fluff. Maybe the
Yeah.
finale had a little bit of fluff, but there wasn't. They stayed right with the main characters
Yeah.
for 8 episodes. Nobody else has been able to do that except for Mandalorian. But Mandalorian was serialized.
Right. Different take.
a
It
little
was a
bit.
different
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
So, even Andor had just a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily well, you didn't see Andor all the time. You had other really good characters, but Andor even took a back seat in his own show. Like
Right.
the kids never took a back
Yeah.
seat. Jod never took a back seat.
Right.
You just were with them the whole time. I was like, this is crazy. So they made it look easy.
Yeah, compared to
Yeah.
what we've seen before, everything made sense. It was intelligent.
Yeah.
Like you could follow it. You were like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that makes sense. I want more.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
all right. Hunter, do you have something?
just said,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
totally.
Sorry.
Yep.
I just want to make sure I got your thoughts if you had anything else.
Force your opinion.
No, sorry. I wasn't trying to do that. I thought maybe you had something.
No,
Part
you're
of the
good.
ship, part of the crew.
Part of the ship, part of the crew. But all right, cool. Well, I think we need to get into spoilers talk. We've been almost there already. So let's get
Yeah.
into some spoilers. If you haven't seen the show yet, episode 8, The finale of Skeleton Crew. We are going to be spoiling it here now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everybody, and I mean everybody dies.
Wow.
Spoken like a true
I
cloud
don't
up
think
Sith.
I don't think one person died in this show.
Well,
It's debatable.
Well,
Die.
okay,
The Wolfman,
pirates.
The Wolfman got killed.
The Wolfman did.
Wolfman
I,
Okay,
you know what?
I'm saying main characters.
I don't know if he did.
Like
Oh yeah, fair enough.
good characters.
That's true.
I don't. Oh well, yeah,
never
Wolfman
saw it,
definitely
though.
died. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, Wolfman definitely died. I was thinking of Julia
Also, that
White.
was really
Oh,
like
yeah.
violent when he got killed. I
it was
wow.
dark.
I
super dark.
I like
That's
that they
part of
went
the whole
there.
series.
Yeah. So this is a hot take or something, but explain this to me. Jod is a hobbit.
Jod is a
From
hobbit.
Merkins.
Yeah. What was it?
Hot as a jobbit.
Because of where Jod came from, was living in a hole. Is that
Yeah.
what they're talking
Is
about?
that what it was?
I think so. Yeah.
Because Jod said he's like I was
Yeah.
living in a hole and she a Jedi she found me.
Who do you think found
said I
him?
had
That's-
potential.
see,
That is
that's-
a huge question.
See,
there.
that was probably the breath of fresh air that I appreciated the most was just him giving a little bit of his traumatic backstory and why he doesn't think
Yeah.
Jedi are good. Why in the galaxy there's no good. He kind of started spilling his guts there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which wasn't that awesome that
Yeah.
he was trained by a Jedi.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
yeah.
liked that answer.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you were going to say this, but and he wasn't technically a Padawan during
No.
the New Republic, I believe, because he said Jedi found him
Yeah.
and only trained him a little before she was killed in front of him, which was very dark as well.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say, Nick? I'm sorry.
No, that was it.
That was okay. I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
Killed in
there.
front by Order
all right.
66.
Yeah,
Order
or they tracked. Didn't he
66.
say that they tracked her down?
Yeah, they tracked her down.
and then killed her in front of me. So I wonder
Right.
if it wasn't an Inquisitor or something like that did it because
Could have been.
because I think she found him, recognized that he had the Force, so then she took him under his wing because he was just basically a street urchin or a hobbit living in a hole
He's a hobbit.
and didn't have much going for him. So she was just trying to help him out, train him a little bit with the Force instead of him going to the dark side. But in doing so, the Empire caught up with her, took her out, and then sent him on a darker path.
Yeah.
Dark
which makes
path.
sense. And it was funny, right before he jumped into that backstory, I was watching with my wife, and I was like, right before he said, I was like, oh, here comes the backstory. Immediately he goes right into it. It was a little predictable, which I thought was fun. But I did appreciate that. At the same time, I didn't appreciate that they didn't give me all the information I wanted about his backstory.
Right.
I was
Yeah,
expecting like a flashback.
I was hoping for a
Yeah,
flashback.
I was too.
Which the way they did the show, I was like, that would have been perfect. Give me a flashback. Make this episode like 10 minutes longer, 20 minutes longer. I don't care.
my goodness.
Give
Yeah.
me an awesome.
You always want more.
I do, especially with this show. That's why I
know.
almost feel I don't feel cheated, but I almost feel like they didn't swing as much as
Right.
they did the rest
Right.
of the season.
You know, I feel like if there's any reason, if there's only the reason that they didn't go that hard is because I'll bet you they were like, who knows if this show is even gonna pop? Is this gonna be like something that they're gonna throw in the trash? Is Star Wars even gonna? So we don't need to go too deep into the
Yeah.
lore because the
Right.
deeper we go, the more mess we can make if it fails. You know, just like the Acolyte.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
you know,
Played it safe.
They played it a little bit safe,
Yeah.
and they left it open ended so that hey, if we want to come in and drill down on Jod's whole story, we can do that. And if we
Yeah.
want to go back to why is Wendell such a
right.
Wendell? No,
He's such a Wendell. He is exactly what his name is.
right. He's
Which is
He's
crazy
a
though.
level 7 loser.
Yeah.
a level 7 for sure.
Which we'll get into Wendell here in a sec because I see in the chat, Biz and everybody, we're talking about it. But I will say, though, shoot, now I lost my train of thought. I was going to
Yep.
say something.
Choo
else.
choo.
Let's
There
just
it
go.
goes.
Let's just go to Wendell. All right, so
No, I was just you're talking about the backstory of Jod. Were you going to go into that anymore, or just
backstory, Jod. Well, you were saying something else, and it was sending me in a different path, and I don't remember what it is now. What were you saying after that?
I don't know.
Well, the fact that he was trained by a Jedi. Is that where you lost your train?
No, it's something else. I don't know.
Did you
I
lose your
still think
choo-choo
that
train?
was a pretty nice
did.
reveal because
Yeah.
it gave us. He's not quite a Jedi, but he was trained in the Force, so he's a Force user, right? That's
Yeah.
what
But he
you
said he
call
only
him.
had a few lessons. So I mean,
But
really,
he's obviously
but
pretty
yeah,
skilled.
right?
Yeah. Oh no, what
for
you're
sure.
probably going to say is you're not happy that they didn't answer things in this when they punted it to season 2. Is that what you were going to say?
No, actually, what I was going to say, I just remember. I mean,
try.
I agree with that. Yes, 100%. But no, actually, what I was going to say, they did the opposite. They gave the wrong people the lore-heavy stuff. They gave the Acolyte, which I think
Oh, I
honestly
see what
took
you're
a
saying,
dump
yeah.
on lore.
It did.
And I mean, it wasn't
It
as
absolutely-
bad, but it was like,
Wasn't
why
as
are
bad.
they giving it? Well, I mean, it was terrible. I'm not saying
Awful.
that. I'm just saying the lore-wise,
Garbage.
Lore-wise, it's far enough away that I feel like it doesn't matter as much, but it still was like, why are you giving them these characters to play with and this history to write? Why did they not give this to, John Watts? He would have been so much better. You gave this like, all right, Jen, you just play over here. We're not too
Right.
sure you're gonna like fit in with the galaxy we're trying to create here with Skeleton Crew. So let's just see if anybody likes it, and then if it does well, then maybe we'll bring it in. Acolyte, somebody who doesn't know anything about Star Wars and has lots of problems. You get it all, baby. You
Yeah.
go for it. Shoot for as
Shoot
high as
for
you
the
want.
stars.
You're gonna get 5 seasons. It's not gonna be a problem. People
It's
are
not
gonna love it.
shelved.
It's like, no, you dummies. Like,
Well-
that's the thing. That was what was bugging me. I'm like,
Yeah.
they played it safe, and that I still appreciate this style. I think they should do this with everybody who's new in Star Wars to not destroy lore if they're trying to introduce something so that they can quickly get rid of it if it doesn't work,
Yeah.
or quickly add it if it does work. Like Skeleton Crew, I think they could easily add in, like they said in that interview about coming on to the Mandalorian and Grogu. Sorry, that was a long tangent, kind of off the rails, but that's how I was feeling. I remembered, and I was proud of it.
Yay.
But what were you saying? I'm sorry, Dan. You were
No,
going to say something
that's
else.
it. That's it. Just that I think they can go farther in season 2. They can go further in season 2.
Metaphorical distance.
Further.
What is happening?
Farthing.
Farthing. Yeah, and
Father?
give us
Is that
more. But they could focus a lot more on all 4 of the characters, their families.
Yep.
Who was the dude on the speeder bike that Wendell stole from, and why did he look like the person in the painting behind
Well, he was
the droid?
He was in like the first
Easter.
episode
Yeah, because they were making.
because they were talking to
Wasn't he kind of
KB
making
and
fun of him?
Yeah.
Fern,
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
going to a race that we never saw.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And why isn't Wally? Why is the same bad guy from Wally running at Atten?
Right, you're jumping here. We should
Right.
probably jump into Wendell first because we were talking about.
Oh,
Wendell,
we were talking about Wendell.
and then,
Wendell.
and then we will get to that.
Oh man,
Let's
Wendell.
jump back to Wendell. We didn't fully flesh out Wendell here.
What a
and
dork.
I feel like there was more to talk about. Definitely in the beginning, did not like him of this. I was watching this and I was like, Dan is gonna hate this.
Yeah, like you guys were like, he started to redeem himself, and I'm like, back to square one.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Wim, we can't do that. And he's like trying to stop him every time. I was like, dude, shut up.
Smacking.
Trust me, it's like the ultimate
me,
level
I know.
7 nerd thing. I was like, dude, Wendell, just like be quiet. Wim's got this. Like he's
Right,
been
yeah.
farther, he's done more things, and further, he's done things that you've never even dreamed about.
Well,
Wendell.
oh my gosh.
farther as well. That works both ways.
Yes,
Farther and further.
it's just a fact. So it was just kind of like, shut up, let's go. And then he,
He
didn't
came
wanna
around
steal.
though,
And well, he,
in a way.
after like the 17th option, he did
Look.
help break in, but Wim had to break him in and like tell the whole sob story about the the whatever that they found, the Jedi thing that they found, or I don't know, whatever it was. And he was the worst like sneaky person. Like he was still in the camera view. I was like,
Right.
dude, like I know I'm
Yeah.
supposed to see him, but I was like, he's like not sneaky at all. And then
Yeah.
but he did his job. He flipped 2 switches or whatever it was.
I think. Okay, legit. I watched it, and he's like flipping a switch, and he flips it back, and then he goes to the next one, flips it up, flips it back. I legit think he
right.
did that for all 4 of those switches.
he did.
and then pushed a button, and it all came back on. I
Right.
was like, "There's no way it was that easy."
I guess, yeah, right. It kind of reminded me. It was kind of because that was quite an extreme
Yeah.
chase scene when they
Yeah.
were trying to get away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like CG, it was like speeder bike kids, but like they almost died 100 times, but I never felt like they were gonna die. And
No,
then I was
no,
also
yeah.
like, 2 seconds ago, Wendell couldn't run down the street.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
he tripped on his, chewing gum and walking at the same time is pretty difficult for Wendell. And he's like speed biking this thing around like he's going like I don't think he's ever ridden a bike in his life.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But
It's
then
just
he's
been a
dodging
long
bombs and
time.
explosions and then it's been a long time.
He's a level 7 though, so I mean,
Yeah,
he
level
picks
7.
up on things
The
quick.
highest
He knows how to
level.
flip 4 switches and push a button. Only a level 7 knows how to do that.
Right. But but he did at least in the moment. I mean, that's, in the moment when you've got a dude standing in the room with a blaster and a lightsaber, like he punched the guy.
Yeah,
So,
that was
so he should have died.
It was the George
multiple
McFly
times.
moment.
So I'll give him that because that's a big step up.
Right.
And he did it for his son. You felt like he did it for his son because everybody was crying and, everybody was scared.
Yeah.
He was the man in the room and he stepped up and punched him. Although, did it get them anywhere? I don't know if it got them anywhere.
It was.
It allowed them to push the thing or I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all kind of played a part to the ultimate
Well, yeah.
pulling of the lever.
The ultimate
It
level.
was so funny because Fern's mom, technically she was the one that pulled the lever, but
Pull the lever, drunk.
Wendell's hand got there right before that. So
Yeah.
it was like, what did you really do?
Yeah.
This is where I don't know. Like, why didn't Jod kill Wendell? I was like, oh my
See,
goodness.
that's what I was expecting. I was like,
this is Wendell's moment to truly fall on his sword for his family and
Yeah.
all of the rest of us.
Yeah.
It's like because that would have been a better. I mean, not a better, but dude. So the dude who literally
it would've
couldn't. What's that, Hunter?
No, I said it would have been. Trust
It
me.
would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Better.
And then, I'm saying, so then, it would have made maybe even more of a redemption, like an emotional redemption for Wim, who now has no reason to stay on the planet. He's out.
He's gone.
And he's got trauma, so
Yeah.
he's always got something to remember, and he can remember his dad as being a hero, and he can go on and be the Jedi that he wants to be.
Yep.
But they didn't want to scare the kids, whatever.
Nope.
Fine.
Well, that was the same thing with Fern's mom. When Fern goes for the latch
Yeah.
and Jod's aiming, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's going to shoot her mom.
Yeah.
And he shoots in front of Fern.
Yes.
I was like, okay. And they just stopped. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, guys, that was great.
Yeah.
Playing it safe.
But
Yeah,
it was kind of anti-Disney. They didn't kill off the
A
parents
parent-
that were
well,
remaining,
yeah,
at least.
They're learning.
But they were
A
already
little.
dead. They always have to
I
have
know.
already
I-
dead
I
parents,
know.
though.
Yeah.
So still
Right.
Disney's MO.
They don't like moms.
I guess I just don't
for
know.
whatever reason.
Or dads.
Well, because Wim's mom is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This is where the episode kind of fell a little bit because they made that insane escape scene.
Yeah.
And nobody even got remotely injured.
No.
And then they got
Neil took a tumble.
Yeah,
Neil
that
took
was
a tumble.
scary.
That
For
was
plot purposes, but
Yeah.
it was a plot tumble. But
Yeah.
then they got to the thing and they're getting shot at by Jod and he's clearly angry and he's like, hey, stop trying to do things.
Right.
And then I kind of felt
Yeah.
like Jod was nerfed
Yeah.
to
He's
make everybody else
Yeah.
rise up and fight back.
and he was like, oh, I don't want to hurt anyone.
yeah.
I just want things to go back to normal.
So
you
that-
guys just go to work.
I think
And
that's-
I was like,
yeah.
what are you
I'm in
talking
charge
about
now,
right now?
people of at.
Are you a
Yeah.
pirate or are you a foreman? I don't understand what's going on with your character.
But I feel like that was consistent throughout this, and this is where I think it transitions from Wendell to Jod, because I think Jod was nerfed, but was he having some kind of a change of heart?
I think so.
I think that's what
Is
they were
that
playing
what they
at.
were leaning?
I
Yeah.
really think they were leaning into that because if you notice, he didn't have a problem killing a bad person,
Correct.
like a truly bad person
Yeah.
that kills people and stabs people in the back. But when it came to good people, yeah, he really
like when he
didn't.
thought KB died.
Right,
Yeah.
like he actually felt.
Yeah,
He had remorse.
He had remorse, but then it was also the fact that like he told the pirates not to kill people. Was that really because he just wanted more workers, or was it also because they were good people and he didn't actually want them to die?
Right.
And
He's
even
the
said that,
gentleman
so-
pirate.
Sure.
That's who he is.
Yeah,
He doesn't like droids, so that's why he killed SM-33 without any hesitation.
Yeah, that
but he
was
didn't
abrupt.
step. Yeah, but
Yeah.
he didn't step on the little mouse thing.
But he didn't actually kill
yeah,
him.
he stepped over the mouse thing
Yeah.
too.
yeah. So he's So maybe there's that. He's like he doesn't actually want to take out the children and the parents.
Yeah.
He's,
He's-
because they are a decent part of the world left. Maybe he wants them to work, but
Yep.
It's the Captain Long John Silver. You know?
yeah.
It is. You know what I mean?
And if he takes him out, he doesn't have any hostages. So
Right.
Which
bad
that-
business.
They definitely played it that way. Captain Silvo. They called it right from the beginning, and he really turned out to be that way. A little, I'd say, slightly darker than in Treasure Island, Muppet Treasure Island, or Captain or whatever Planet Treasure Island, but
Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet.
Island.
I can't say anything.
It's both.
Yeah. So, but Jod, I really do think they were playing to that, and I think he was having a moral crisis, and even remembering back to who trained him, the Jedi who trained him, and showed him some hope. But he had already come from darkness. It sounded like so.
Right.
She brought him out of that just to have that taken away.
Well, yeah, it's dark in Hobbit holes.
Right, it is dark in Hobbit holes. So that's I actually liked how they played that, but it was predictable. I think that was part of it. And the real problem, though, I feel like with this episode is actually to what you were saying, Dan, that the stakes. We knew that everybody pretty much had plot armor.
Yeah.
And if they would have possibly given us a surprise of like somebody dying, like sacrificing themselves, I think it would have added a lot more weight to this show. But that's a pro and a con for me, because if you're having like 12-year-olds or young people watching this, they might have thought of it as like that might be a little scarring to some kids, and they wanted the more 80s happy
But
ending.
that's real life, kids.
It is. And
That's right.
It is for sure, but I think they might save that if they do get a season 2. I think that would be possibly more impactful in a season 2 once you've really gotten into
As
these
long as they
characters.
don't take Neil out. Please don't take Neil
please
out.
do not.
They couldn't do that.
But Wendell, for me, I think he did have a little bit more of redemption in this, and that he finally listened to his son. I agree. It took him way too long to listen to his son.
Yep.
But being the nerd who follows the rules all the time and had a tough time even lying to a robot, which was pretty childish. I mean, that was easily, I don't know. Anyway, but it was nice to see he had his George McFly moment with the fist, and then he balled it up just like the movie, and then he punched him in the face, which I did appreciate. I appreciated that, and he himself did some piracy there and finally leaned into it with his son, but only after realizing that everything is going to poop, like nothing. Nothing. Like, it's sad that it took him that long. I agree with you.
I think the
bonding between the parents, I think, was good because, and that showed character development as well between Wendell and also Wim.
Yeah,
which is what they needed.
I think that they also, people don't change very quickly on a lot of things.
Yeah,
It takes a couple of, maybe you can make a quick change, but a lot of times you fall back into the same. So his whole life he's been second bananas, yelling at Wim to follow orders and this, that, and the other.
He liked things in a box.
And he likes things in a
That's
box.
why they showed the food.
He's a level 7.
That's true.
Like the home cooked meal or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's not. You can't expect him. So if they are doing multiple seasons, if I think of the long game, then he has even more room to grow. If he all of a sudden is just like boom, he's this tough guy and he's going to step up every time and do the right thing, that's a short-lived growth period. Now he can kind of step up like he did, and then Wim can remind him of that, and
right.
But he kind of went back into the same old right away.
Yeah.
But that's people, and if Wendell's not going to grow, then he's off the show.
Yeah.
He gone.
Yeah. and we might not need him as much, especially if there is a time jump. It could be more. He could be more of a real back character that you might see in the beginning or something like that. But I think if they were to do a season 2, like they were saying, it was that time jump, so you might not need him as much.
Well, and the whole setup has changed now. Now
Right.
they're exposed to the whole galaxy.
Things have to change.
So they have to restructure everything
Right.
in order to protect themselves, but also rebuild. A lot was destroyed.
And they can use this singular event, like you said, as something to launch off of in other Star Wars shows, or the Mandalorian movie, or the Hondo show. Or something,
The Hondo show.
That's what the people want, baby.
Yeah. Because now there's a lot of money potentially open to the rest of everybody.
Yeah, that's a huge.
And-
that is huge.
Yeah.
Where's the locations of all the other mints? And
Right.
it's just crazy. Maybe
Why?
I don't know.
Why didn't the X-wings and all
Stay?
of that? Yeah, why didn't they land?
I think they were.
Well, yeah, they
Oh.
probably were.
Because
Because
that
very
one,
end.
that one
the Tantive
Corvette
4
comes
yeah,
through.
I think it's the Tantive 4. It might not have been 100% Tantive 4, but
It
I
looked
think
very much like it.
that's what they were hinting at. That was Leia's ship
Yeah.
coming in.
Oh, okay. I knew
That's
there was
what I
something
thought.
to that.
But also, okay, that ending was it was super abrupt. They
What was the final scene?
They go that ship coming in,
That was the final scene.
and then it goes past that ship into the sun.
Okay.
and then it goes dark,
That's it.
and then it plays the credits, and I was like,
Yeah.
That's really where they're gonna end it, right there.
Yeah,
like
'cause it was
literally,
supposed to be
Wendell's just sitting there, wham, 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 like calling for him, and Wim's just like,
Staring off into the distance.
Yeah, what a perfect way
I'm
to
like,
end
that's
it.
the weird, like, it's a crazy way to end it. I think. I was like, there's
You
no
didn't like
closure
it. Yeah.
at all. It's like, what happened to Jod? He's just in that tower. Like,
Yeah,
what,
right.
Yeah.
he's gonna suddenly just be gone.
You assume he's
Like,
gonna.
I don't
escape
understand what's
somehow.
going on.
I think
Yeah.
I think they wanted you. I almost feel like the writers, for how clever they are, I think they really wanted you wanting more, so that the fans
yeah.
will say, where is season 2? More that the fans will demand a season 2.
Yeah.
More than anything, because I will say one of the biggest pros in this, if you think about it, is it left you wanting more. Like
Yeah.
the ending of the show, I did feel like it did not wrap up everything as well as it could have.
Right.
It's sufficient enough if they don't do a season 2, although I will be disappointed if they don't.
Yeah.
I will say I wanted more. Like, I
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
see how Jod got down. I wanted to see what happens to Wim now, because he finally, like they even said, oh, you don't have to take that assessment anymore.
Yeah.
That was literally the last line of the whole show.
That was.
You don't have to take assessment anymore. And then he's off
Or
by
was it
himself.
Wim?
Well, it's Wim, but
Wendell
the last line.
Wendell got the
somebody
last
actually-
words.
Wendell
Of
strikes
course.
again.
Of course, Wendell would get the last words. He's
Yep.
full of them.
What about you, Hunter?
What
do
did you think about
the
that ending? Yeah.
The endings, yeah, it was a little too. They just, like I said, they left a bunch of things off. We don't know what happened to Jod. Probably got captured. Maybe he got out. We don't know. And I don't know. We kind of already determined that Wendell is an absolute dork. And the best part about Wendell is he strikes me as the type of guy that gets dodgeball banned in schools because he was getting targeted too much.
Oh man.
So that's why when I see him, I
Why do
kind
you
of
think he needs glasses?
yeah, I just kind of get triggered. But like, he kind of showed up, like I said, popped that guy in the mouth, but it took way too long. So,
Yeah.
but there was also a handful of plot conveniences. I felt like, you magically stab the robot supervisor, and then all the
Yeah.
power goes out.
Right.
Okay, that's
yeah.
crazy. It takes a handful of buttons just to return everything back on that a level 7 super whatever can only seem to figure out. But
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
They
good points.
just-
Some good cons.
yeah, like you said, they played it. They definitely played it a little too safe. I felt like, personally, Jod being a potential Order 66 survivor is a con. I'm tired of hearing about that. I would have
Right.
rather have had something else, figure something else out. But it could be a good thing as well, but that it could also, we kind of got to see a little bit more of why he has kind of a darker outlook on the world, because that kind of stuff can really change your perception to the point that maybe that's why Wendell is such an overprotective wart, because maybe Wim's mom got cooked somehow or died.
Right.
Because my point being is Wim is nothing like his dad.
Right.
I'm beginning to wonder if he's a lot more like his mother.
Right.
So maybe his mother was a little bit more adventurous, and we don't know, obviously. So I'm kind of filling in some of the blanks.
Right. There's a bit of a missed
that could be-
opportunity there.
Yeah, it could have been. They could have maybe made him a little bit more understandable of why he's just so boring and overprotective. But it could be because of the brainwashing. But
Yeah.
my theory on this is this. So I was thinking about it, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for them to hire the Mandalorians as protection for their planet.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
And
like
we
that.
may be able to find a way to because we talked about the kids meeting up with Mando, and that very well could be a way of how we bridge the gap of securing resources for Mandalore.
They can afford it.
They can afford it, and then Mandalore's got to rebuild, and they need some credits. So they're the best warriors in the galaxy that you can pretty much get. So I'm thinking maybe somehow that might be a connection here. Could be incorrect, but that's what my gut's instinct is telling me. I also kind of have another theory too, but I genuinely forgot what it was.
Oh, no worries. You got time.
It's-
Well, if it
I was
comes up,
I was
just
sitting
yell
there
at us.
thinking. Yeah, for sure. But I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I don't know. That kind of makes some sense to me because somewhere along the line, they're going to have to kind of start connecting some of these dots. And my assumption is Disney's going to try to do the Marvel route where they connect everything somehow. Maybe not necessarily to the point where they do the whole in-game thing, but
Yeah.
they definitely seem like that they're setting things up that where they can easily have bridges if they want to, right?
Yeah.
So that was my theory regarding that whole ordeal. But I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. That's assuming they even do season 2. And at this point, it's so hard telling with what they do.
Yeah.
So
it's everything's up in the air. That's the
Right.
thing with Lucasfilm at this point. Nothing is concrete at this point. I feel like nothing other than Andor that's already been made. That's concrete.
And that's it.
And Mandalorian Grogu, I think, is going to happen for sure. But I don't know of anything concrete after that
Concrete.
that's actually going to
Right, yeah.
happen. You know what I
Right.
mean?
How much
mean-
did this show cost? That kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
there's
Are they
countless rumors, but no real concrete evidence. So.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars Celebration, it would be smart of them to lean into Skeleton Crew related stuff,
Yeah.
to distance from Acolyte, to lean into Andor, of course,
Yep.
lean into Mandalorian and Grogu. And those are your 3 pillars right now. You got Mando, Grogu, Skeleton Crew, and Andor. You know, Mandalorian's like the popcorn everybody watches.
Yeah.
Then Skeleton Crew's kind of more for the kids, but the adults still enjoy it, family friendly. And then now you got, Andor for the hi-fi, although this is the last season.
Yeah.
But that show could win an Emmy or whatever. I don't know if they do that for streaming or
It
not.
could.
But
Yeah, no, it could still for sure.
and maybe it did. Maybe it got nominated. But it's just that kind of caliber. You know what I mean? If it was a movie, if certain scenes of that were in a movie, it'd be Academy Award nominated potentially.
Yeah.
And
For sure.
it's just brilliant. So I think that's their three-headed monster that they should lean into.
Right, that's definitely the best that's come out. I think there are some redeemable still. I'd say if you gave Boba Fett back to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni more in the Mandalorian side of things as more of like a side character, or you at least did him right.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're gonna do it again. I don't know. I think Boba Fett is still an awesome character. They just majorly screwed him up, and that series was terrible.
They killed him.
They did a terrible job, but
He's dead.
I still think he is redeemable if they make him the bounty hunter that he was, or if they give him more of like a teachable side to like other Mandalorians. Like if he gets away from Tatooine and starts becoming the Mandalorian, the awesome Mandalorian that he was. You know what I mean? Well, not really, but yes, really. Or more the bounty hunter he was. I think that could be a really fun route. And you show the brutal side of Boba Fett again, but now in this different way, I think would be really fun. But no, I agree. I was gonna say though, what if Skeleton Crew ends with a movie, kind of like the Mandalorian Grogu in some ways? I could really see Skeleton Crew switching over to like its second thing being a movie instead of a next series, and I think it might actually play even better that way. And if they are doing kind of the Marvel Cinematic Universe style, going with movies that tie into each other to an ultimate probably heir to the Empire is what I'm thinking. That's what they might want to do. Now, if Kathleen Kennedy doesn't screw it all up and Disney doesn't screw it all up because it's all in the air right now, I feel like Jon Favreau's leaning that way, especially with Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni does like to connect things. I feel like Mandalorian Grogu could lean into setting certain things up for, Ahsoka Season 2 and then Ahsoka Season 2, maybe even going into Skeleton Crew having some sort of part in that, and then those culminating to be the big fight with Heir to the Empire, and with them leaving this show off with possibly Leia coming in at the very end of this, which they didn't show, which it would have been nice, honestly. If they were going to do that, then fully commit.
Or make C-3PO talk.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But what do you guys think about a movie next for Skeleton Crew instead of a season 2?
I don't like that idea.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Hey,
I'd say I'd rather have a season 2.
It would work as a movie for sure.
Yeah.
I think the rest of it, it's just funny. We're so backwards because we're like, Ahsoka, the show, would have been better as a movie. Mandalorian Season 3 or whatever, these other shows would have been better as a movie. Boba Fett and Obi-Wan better as a movie. And now Andor worked as a TV show. I think this works as a TV show, week to week, fun episode, you know. But if they had turned it into a movie, it would have been a great movie too. But it was like, this is what good TV is. It's like watching a movie every week, even though it's shorter than a movie. Right. It's like the quality's there, the storylines are there. There's not a lot of side stories and junk you don't care about. So for me, I'd like to see season 2, and maybe if after that they wanted to bust him into the movie realm as the kids are older now, and they want to lean into them to kind of carry. Now we know that we like these characters. Let's just see them go on an adventure, and with Mandalorian around and Boba Fett's still around, and Han, Leia, Luke. Are we fighting Thrawn? Are we doing this? All in that time period between the sequels and the episode 6. So it's not like there we go.
There we go.
It's a little chewy.
A little chewy.
Yeah.
It's a triple.
I thought it was a
triple
gerbil
chewy.
for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But
Chewy's always hanging out with us.
it's
a
not.
Wookiee cookie.
It's just
No,
fun
I'm
to think
sure.
about these kids being in the same space and time as Grogu. As somebody were saying in the chat, Grogu meeting Neil.
No,
that'd be great.
That would be great.
I mean,
And then
everyone wants to see everybody's favorite space daddy Din Djarin meet these kids. I think
Yes,
we all
dude.
that whole interaction would just be comical because you know how Din is,
Yep.
Right.
and
They're all
I mean,
foundlings now.
he would take one absolute look at Wim and just look at you and go, "You're a problem," and then go back because he's all over the place. But no, I genuinely think that would be a way that they could easily bridge those characters together, but especially because like there's that rumor that the show is done and that, but he's not done being in other shows. So him showing up just to nuke some people with his ship or whatever to save the day, I could see easily him running into those types of situations before.
Right. No, that totally makes sense.
Luke meeting Wim.
Yeah.
Meeting Ezra.
Yeah.
Any of these things, like there's a lot of people they could play with if they can handle it right, like a Marvel universe. I mean, they could cross over Luke and Han and Leia and C-3PO and I don't know.
We can listen to Nick's hot takes on CGI Leia like you did with CGI Luke.
Yeah. That's actually what I was expecting to show up.
The
at
same
the end of it.
yeah. The same
If it
Jello
was
Leia.
her, it was like, oh.
Or Luke.
Here we go.
Well, actually, up at this time point for the fact that she was a senator that was reaching out to new planets during this time to join the New Republic, and it being an Old Republic mint, and Mon Mothma, she trusted Leia more than basically anybody else to establish first contact. And if you read the Heir to the Empire series, that's one of the things she's doing, and there's a bit of conflict there. And that's why I think it was actually perfect for her to show up at the end. I wish they would have actually committed, though. But we did technically get a CGI Leia before in Rogue One.
Yeah.
So
it wasn't too bad, but there was something off about
What
that.
was worse, that or Luke in Mandalorian season 2?
It was definitely Luke.
Really?
CGI has backslidden in the last few years.
They've gotten lazy.
Like, it
although
looks
this
a
show-
lot
I didn't
better.
think it was that bad.
It looks a lot better 10 years ago than it does right
He's
now.
talking about
Yeah.
you're talking about face CGI
Face
stuff?
any kind of CGI.
Any
I'm
CGI.
telling
Yeah.
you, Davy Jones is still the best in the that I've ever seen.
Yes.
I think really.
agreed. Davy Jones is one of the best
Yeah,
ever.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you put that up against
Pirates.
anything they've released within
Gotcha.
the past 5 years, and anything they released in the past 5 years just does not stand up to it.
Yeah, because
At
the
all.
detail is insane. Because they even get like his little tentacle slime.
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
he's got the key and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
But
it's
part of
like,
that, though,
crazy.
part of that though is also movies versus TV show, and that's why I was.
Oh, even in movies.
I know a lot
Like,
of movies.
It's anywhere.
But I was surprised with this season being so well done as it was for the graphics and for the CGI. I was not taken out in as much of this show as I was in other Disney Plus shows. I really feel like they honed in a little bit more, and they did a great job. I felt like with this show on CGI, it wasn't perfect, but for
Yeah.
TV, I'd say it was way better than what we've got in Disney Plus, and that's
Yeah.
why in some ways I was like,
Yeah.
this could easily flow right into a movie because that quality is already there.
Well, did you see the take that Matt
I did see
Risman
that.
added?
Yeah.
People saw it in the chat too, but
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Watts originally pitched this season of Skeleton Crew as a movie. I did not know that. It was decided that they would make it a series instead.
Yeah.
They were basically told to
Yeah.
Disney Plus it.
Great take. Thanks for joining in, Matt. I just see a bunch of other people jumped in. Thank you guys for being here tonight with
What
us.
if they came to us and they're like, Dustin, Disney Plus it.
Yeah, do you think that's
Stay on
like
Target is on Disney Plus now.
Do you think that's like a death sentence for some
That's a
producers?
tough choice. That's actually
Would you rather have $1 billion or Disney Plus it?
$1 billion,
Or the
and
Force.
then I'd buy Lucasfilm
Yeah.
and become in charge of it.
Cost
But
four,
yeah,
$4 billion.
It's gone down in value. I think I could get Lucasfilm for $1 billion.
Do you think that like hearing that phrase Disney Plus it is like a
Scary thing.
death sentence for a director?
And not if they make $300 million on it.
Okay,
or
yeah.
They get,
If they're good, then they'll be like, yeah, no problem. But I'm sure
yeah.
people shudder
Yeah.
when they pitch it as a movie, and they're like, yeah, could you make it a TV show? And they're probably like, no.
I bet they had
Scary.
some, because has John Watts done TV shows? Fact checker, if you could look that up, that'd be interesting, because we know
Probably not.
we know that he's really been
What
more in
TV shows has John Watts done?
I like that. We know he's
On
done
a
a lot of
total
movies.
side random note,
Yeah,
how impressed are we that Neil was able to take a bath before things started going down?
Right, dude? I was
that-
like,
that's
wow,
how-
that was quick.
That was absolutely comical.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but 0.5 seconds, his mama had him in the bath, and I was
Right.
just like, "You've been out dirtying up on this adventure. Get in the tub, boy.
Yep,
before
get
you
in the
come
tub."
around." That
Oh
was
my
the funniest thing ever. That's
Yeah.
and that's the thing.
That
That's what I do love about this show is the suburban feel. Like
Yeah.
we never
Mhm.
really got that from Star Wars. Everything moves too fast. We don't get to see some of the little things like that. And
Yeah.
this was like the perfect show to bring that stuff out, you know. But yeah, his bubble bath was absolutely
It
comical.
was.
that was so funny. Yeah, I completely agree. That was hilarious.
That was
That
right when
was
the
like
power
the
went out.
Yeah, it was. He's like,
One,
Mom?
wasn't Yeah.
And
Mom?
everybody was outside. Also,
Yeah.
where was the dad? Also, again,
I don't know where the dad
He was walking with them when they were
Yeah.
under
Yeah.
That
under
dude,
arrest.
that dude is
Yeah.
a flipping beast.
Yeah.
we should have
That's
seen
huge.
him.
Yeah.
We should have seen him throwing pirates. Like
Yeah.
that's what I want to see. I was like, what a waste of a character. Neil's
Right.
dad was.
I
like,
know, but I have a
jacked.
feeling his name isn't Wendell; it's Lendl.
Lendl.
And he's just a slow moving like.
I wanted to
I'm
hear
a
him-
level 6. I'm not even as high as Wendell.
Yeah, I wanted to hear him talk because I'm sure he's got like
Yeah.
a deep voice.
What a waste.
He just takes off his shirt. He's just ripped.
Yeah,
He's like, I'll
absolutely.
show these pirates who's boss.
He's voiced by
Neil
Arnold
Elephant.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that, Hunter?
Neil, get out of the bath now.
Get out, Neil. They're pirates. They're pirates. We have to defend our home. now.
Ow!
You see him come out with
Get
a
to the
machine gun,
bathtub.
in Predator and just start dropping bodies.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Dude,
He doesn't even like use doors. He just breaks walls down.
Oh man.
That was the
Yeah,
missing
heavy.
piece.
He'd be a heavy for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was the missing piece of this episode. We just needed one scene of Wendell's dad just wrecking some pirates, like
You mean
throwing them
Neil's
through. Or
dad?
Neil's dad. I'm sorry, Neil's dad.
Wendell's dad.
Wendell's
Wendell's dad's
That'd be a
gone.
That's actually Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
But yeah, all right. But
Matt Risman said his name is
No.
No.
That's funny.
Neil, Noel, Fern, Farah, Wim,
Yeah.
Wendell. They're really creative with
KB
KB.
A B C D E F G H I J K L.
Yeah.
You didn't say
Good
the
line.
right. You didn't say the right
That's
letters.
you gotta rearrange the letters, but you get it.
I see what you did
I
there.
see what you did there.
I like
did.
it.
I did what you see there.
Yes, a breath of fresh air.
To answer
Fresh breath air.
your question on John Watts, he has done multiple TV shows.
Okay. Yeah, that
Figures.
makes sense.
What can you name a few of those if you have them right in
The
front of you?
Onion News Network,
There you go.
The Old Man TV series,
Old Man?
Skeleton Crew. Just kidding, but not really.
Great timing.
Reggie Watts. I don't know.
Okay.
Scariest show on television.
Wow, Reggie Watts, really? That's
Yeah.
funny.
Bunch
things-
of nobody shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of
Adam
Reggie
TV.
Watts.
I don't know.
So
What was
stuff-
that one?
Adam TV, ATOM. TV,
Atom TV.
Back in 2008.
So
I've
there
never
that's-
heard of these.
Sounds like that's where he cut his teeth in a lot of ways and was getting out there. But obviously he did well enough with those shows to be given movies.
Yeah.
So, and he really nailed it and knocked it out of the park, I think, with every Spider-Man movie he did.
Spider-Man.
And that was a
ones did he
tricky.
do?
He did
Spider-Man.
Homecoming.
No Way Home.
No way home.
Oh, did he
Solid
only do No Way
Spider-Man.
Home?
I think he just did
Yes.
No Way
I
Home.
don't think he did Far From Home.
Did he do? Yeah. What?
No Way Home.
He only did No Way Home.
No, he did Homecoming.
He did Homecoming. He didn't do Far From Home.
I don't think so.
No, he's known for No Way Home.
He didn't do Spider-Man Homecoming.
I don't see that. No.
You don't see that.
I thought he did. John Watts directed Far From Home. I think he did the whole trilogy.
I thought so too. I thought they kept with the same. And that
I didn't realize he did No Way or Far From Home too.
Also, that is a tricky thing he did there, because he's
tricky like that John
He's
Watts.
tricky like that. He was literally balancing between two studios. He was beholden to Sony
That's
for
true.
certain parts because they own the rights to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then, but they allowed Spider-Man to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So he's playing with two sides here, trying to please both Sony and Disney and produce quality material that fans will love. That's why I think he's really good at what he does, for the fact that he had more pressure than most, and he absolutely nailed it.
Right. And taking an ensemble cast like that with some established characters, with Iron Man already being the guy, and it's just embracing him into this. This is why he could bring in the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
he could carry that. Like if Favreau's done with it, or Filoni, like give it to Watts. Let him run with it. Let Watts do the stinking movie at this point.
Yeah.
He should get the next Mandalorian movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The Skeleton Crew could be the next movie because it's already characters he's developing, and they could tie it into bouncing it right off the Mandalorian movie and let him build it from there, because he knows how to treat characters that have come before with respect. No Way Home is the perfect example of how to treat characters that have come before with new characters. That was perfect. That's what they should have done from Star Wars from the beginning. If he would have directed episodes 7, 8, and 9, I guarantee you it would have been 10 times better.
Oh, man.
10
Could you
times
imagine
better.
what we would have got instead of what we got?
Oh yeah.
Oh, man. Hunter, what were you going to say? I feel like you had something to say.
No, I mean it makes sense. He must have Yoda level patience to deal with all the middleman, and maybe that's a reason why he's a perfect fit for this type of work, because he seems to know how to balance everything. The key to life is balance. That's really what it boils down to, folks.
It is.
There's your wisdom with Hunter. You got to pay for the rest. But anyway, so he did. Yeah, I mean, really though, that's a perfect. Yeah, that's really a perfect example, because if he can make those characters blend in from other series, you'd think he'd be able to do it with Star Wars, no problem.
Right.
Yeah. No, for sure. And also, he's dealing.
I didn't know he directed those movies, though. I had no clue.
Yeah. And that's what, honestly, that was one of the things that made me most excited for Skeleton Crew. Out of everything, we did predict at the beginning of 2024, we were like, Skeleton Crew is the sleeper. I think it's going to be the best show other than the Lego Rebuild the Gods.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think it
Called
makes
it.
sense. Called it.
Called it.
And let's circle back here a little bit,
Kobe.
Dan. You did mention the supervisor. I'll let you run supervisor, Dan.
I did.
You mentioned who he looked like, that the supervisor reminded you of.
Yeah. From Wall-E.
The bad guy from Wall-E.
Yeah, and I didn't let
the
you run with it.
autopilot?
I'm sorry, I'm getting back to it now.
Otto was
Otto.
his name. Very German-sounding name. Otto.
Captain.
By the way, Matt Risman confirmed that Noel is his actual name.
It's really
Is it really?
Oh, wow.
Oh,
okay.
my gosh.
That's hilarious.
I didn't catch that.
No, I
That's
don't think
funny.
they ever said it, but maybe they did.
Well,
That's
it's
got-
probably
Yeah,
in the...
subtitle reveals. Was it a subtitle reveal?
It was probably.
Oh,
yeah.
probably in the,
Yeah,
in the
probably.
credits. But
Or
no,
it was like whoever played this character. That's who played them.
because in Wall-E they were run by bots.
The autopilot.
That was the point, right?
Right.
They were humans that
Well,
were
yeah.
that had given up control because they were so useless or whatever. They were just in seats, and they, kind of like it was ahead of its time a little bit with everybody. That was before the iPhone. That was actually the year the iPhone 1 came out.
Was Wall?
Was
Really?
Wall-E.
Are
It
you
was like
serious?
2008, I
Yeah.
think.
2008?
Cow, I didn't
And
realize it was that
so
old.
it's like, what have we all become now? We're all sitting here on our devices and blah blah blah, and
Yep.
some people were offended by the
We have a
people
jogging
being so
track?
like they couldn't even walk. They were so overweight because they were just hauled around in the
Atrophied.
seats, and
Yeah.
but that's what I mean in space. So it reminded me. It was a refreshing reminder of Wall-E as this thing ended, or as you were revealed that was the supervisor.
Yeah.
And now, is the supervisor actually a real person?
Was it a real person?
Was it a real person who
At
then
one time.
had Otto as his assistant, and then that person died, or the Otto AI took over and killed the actual
Well, because why
supervisor.
else would
Well-
there be seats up there?
So
When they
that
said
were
they
all
hadn't
dusty?
seen him in a long time, is
Yeah.
what they said. I think Wendell
Well,
said that.
But Farah did say that because Jod's like, your leader is a robot, because he doesn't really love robots that much,
Yeah.
Jod, throughout the series. And then Farah said, yes, just like the great work described, or as the great work decreed.
Yeah.
She actually did say that line.
Okay.
So she knew it was a robot. So that was an interesting twist.
Well, and is the supervisor, the Dread Pirate Roberts, do they live forever? Is it a
Right.
supervisor in their generation, or did they inherit the throne like King Henry VIII, and it's like an inherited generation? But at that point, there would be a palace. I mean, there's the tall tower. Of course, the tall tower rules over everybody. Have you seen
tower.
The Wizard of Oz. I mean, the
Yes.
guys don't look at that man behind the curtain.
yeah.
Pay no attention to him.
Yeah,
And somebody get a duster in
Yeah,
here.
that was
See,
kind
that's
of the
the part-
silliest choice
That's
for
the
me.
part
Yeah.
I don't understand is like, so there were workers in there at one point
Oh, yeah.
for the chairs because they
Maybe.
were all dusty. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
get it.
Also, why was it not on at Akron? Why was there not
Yeah,
a giant
why wasn't there a
robot
big giant robot in
that
the middle
one?
of the
Unless
room?
it was a kind of, I wonder if in some ways if it was like a trial runs for these other
Maybe.
planets, and then
Yeah.
they finally figured out the solution that to rule, like to have like something actually rule
Mm-hmm.
over humans or whatever to me.
It has to
Progress,
be a machine.
It's got to be a machine.
Basically, our future.
Yeah, right.
It's got to be
AI
a,
overlords.
it's got to be a non-selfish.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's got to be a non-selfish being that actually looks over things to keep everything running and everybody in line, which is a very
I thought that
dystopian
robot had
future.
good manners.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It was Stephen Fry, British. He sounded very polite, even when he was calling.
But he
out
was
Jod.
very, very defenseless.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty sad.
He's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, it's like
That's the
you're-
thing, though. You're telling me a planet doesn't have any. They don't have a backup generator, like
Right.
nothing.
Exactly.
it was definitely the plot convenience.
It
there.
was very much a plot convenience.
Yeah, like
We
literally.
should have got more at in history classes, not at math classes, because
Yeah.
we might have been able to have some more
Yeah.
detail with some of these things.
Right.
they're like, the math just doesn't add up.
And Matt
Yeah.
Risman is here is saying that on Akron, I think the supervisor droid was retracted into the ceiling. You can see
okay.
part of it if you go back and look. Oh,
could've
that's a
been.
great take. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that because I did not notice that at all.
Worth a rewatch.
Definitely
Right.
worth a rewatch
Yep.
there, and that would
But
make sense.
you know what I'm saying though? Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they have defensive mechanisms in that room
That's what I mean.
for that exact reason?
Did technically have
Do the
droids.
electrified floor like Andor.
Yeah.
You know what
right.
they should have had? They should have had the red guards come out with like
Yeah.
the red thing.
Yeah, absolutely,
No,
Dan.
that would have made
How
it.
popular-
I'm gonna
arbitrary.
flip this table.
I'm gonna flip.
I
This
was like,
table.
why not? They're everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh, I would have hated that.
the freaking
Al-
Praetorian guards.
Although, yeah, definitely plot convenience when he stabbed it in the eye and like all of its processors were
Yeah, and it
literally
just
right behind
goes
it.
down. And it's like,
Yeah.
are you serious?
You think being a robot like that, you would have backups, like server backups that like can house your memory somewhere else.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing was its claws did come out to Matt
Yeah.
Risman's point. So like it doesn't
It
make
was
sense that
trying-
it grabbed
yeah.
the ceiling. And
That's
bit off
right.
the
That's
above.
right.
Yeah.
It did try to do the claws.
Like you, Dan. It had claws.
Pinchers
with
out.
the red eyes.
You're more like the supervisor than
Oh
we
my
even realized.
goodness! I'm turning supervisory all the time. Red eyes.
That's
Red eyes.
Hunter called that before the stream. I just want to point that out.
He
That
did.
Hunter said that right before the stream, and now
That's true.
he predicted it. So
Yeah,
I do push a lot of buttons.
that brings me to my other point too. If
Or are you
Jod
Wendell?
was
Let the man talk.
I'm sorry.
no, I was saying if Jod was really a part of the Order, then why did he use the excuse with the robot that he was a Jedi? Shouldn't have he known better? You know, I was kind of
Yeah,
confused on that part. Maybe I got some of my facts twisted when I was watching that.
So Jod said that he was
He was a Jedi yeah.
because he was using that as proof that he was from the New Republic, that he wasn't like a Sith or something like that. If it was the Old Republic, without realizing that the last transmission they got from the New Republic was that the Jedi were all traitors. He didn't know that information, so I think that is why he was using the lightsaber to say, like, I'm definitely
I'm a
the
good guy.
emissary. I'm a good guy. I have a blue lightsaber.
I'm
not
the
a
captain
bad guy. But then he didn't know that they got that, and then which is interesting. He said the last transmission that they got from the New Republic was the fact was that the Jedi were all traitors, which makes sense because after that point, it wasn't the New Republic, it was the Empire, and they didn't know
Empire,
about the Empire after that, as far as Wim and them described.
You know, I got the impression when they were going up there that this was actually more imperial than anything, and that's where I was like, did the Empire then take over this? And
makes
I
a
was
lot
like,
of sense.
oh man, it's like seriously like Snoke gonna show up. When I saw like the wires hanging, it just reminded me of Palpatine
Yeah.
and
Dark.
like different dark things, and because of the dust, I was like, What's that?
Yeah. No, Palps was definitely funneling money from that place when you really think about it, because they kind of did confirm that it was imperialistic there with that particular line. Because if they think the Jedis are traitors, that shows you what side they would have been they were on at one point. So, and when your god is a robot, you don't really
yes, exactly.
Yeah,
but didn't it?
At the same time, though,
didn't the supervisor say it'd been a long time since they received a call from an emissary?
That was the last one that they heard. Though was the New Republic, because they were broadcasting on New Republic frequencies that the Jedi were traitors.
I don't think anybody was funneling money, which is weird.
I don't think so either, because
it's like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, at some point you'd have to stop making it because you would be full.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But also, if the Emperor knew about it, he would have used that to build the Death Stars, and in multiple.
That's where all those Sith ships came from.
Right. In multiple,
it makes sense now.
In multiple scenarios, though, they were behind budget. They were over budget on multiple Death Stars, on all the different things they were doing. They talk about it. And I think if he would have known about that money, he would have definitely exploited it and used it as much as possible. But I feel like now with them opening the doors to Akron in this time period, unfortunately, I feel like it could possibly be a way that the First Order comes about. That's a lot of people are saying, but I'm glad they didn't go that route in this show so far. I'm really glad that they did not tie it to the sequel trilogy at all, which is really
that was refreshing.
I want a doctor rating now. I have more questions.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's more questions about why they did that, why they said that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused now at this point. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it because I got to figure out the whole currency thing between Empire, New Order, whatever.
What happened
regimes
there?
They were having. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So that's why they were just left up to their own devices, because they're like, it's just trash now. It's just a trash planet. Let them think that they have all the money, but they're literally worthless now.
Right, because what Matt said there with establish the Imperial credit versus the Republic credit. So that it was interesting. Yeah, definitely more questions.
Though.
Yeah,
didn't those? So was there any kind of like? Is there any real genuine material value, like how old 364 quarters used to be like 90% silver?
Right.
Like, how does that work?
I feel like it'd be even more valuable now because it's discontinued.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you have so much of it, maybe it isn't. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know
Someone
how that
get
would
me
work.
a Star Wars accountant. I have questions.
Yeah,
it's tax season.
I mean,
it's tax season.
Inflation. If you introduce too
I will
much
not
of
be
that
paying.
all at once,
No, yeah.
If they introduce too much of that, that would mess up the whole economy. You would have to be careful with how you introduce that kind of money into a galaxy-wide economy.
For sure. I mean, and moving forward, as Bismo said, bro, honestly, this planet now being public has major consequences for the galaxy.
Definitely.
However, who got there first? Our favorite
rebellion.
At least Leia, maybe.
Right.
So that's good news for them. Now, obviously, they're not in the best state when we find them in 20 years or whatever, but like they're doing okay.
Does it make them complacent?
Yeah, does it make them complacent? Do they fight a whole nother war in between there? I thought it had been peaceful, but apparently not. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
let's pretend
the
that
Federal Reserve of Star Wars.
Yeah,
throw your butt in the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe all of those credits, while they look valuable, they don't get you very far actually when it comes to purchasing planets or ships. Or maybe it all gets stolen.
But pirates find a lot of value in it, though.
Yes,
but that goes to.
I think it's probably just the material then. At that point, that it's made out of.
Right. Yeah. You could always remint it.
Yeah.
If it's a
melt
mint,
it down,
you could always melt it down and make it into whatever credit you want. It's the raw material they have.
Luthen probably sells it in a shop.
Otto did want Republic credits in the height of the Republic, so there's value there. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a great
only
point.
money.
Only money.
It has to be made. It has to be made of something like legit.
Yeah.
And I mean, at this point, though, if the New Republic's smart, they would surround that planet with so many ships that no pirates or nobody would be able to attack.
Can you reactivate the cloud?
I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah,
it's a possibility.
I don't know how that technology worked.
it
was
if
quite
someone
a-
built it once, you can build it again.
Yep.
Except the
But-
pyramid.
They
Except the pyramid.
they spent some CGI money on just that scene alone. Of
Yeah.
it was a pretty spectacle. It was like the Aurora Borealis of
It got really bright
Yeah.
suddenly.
Dude.
Like
Yeah.
Jude Law's age was showing. I was like, wow.
I know. I was like, what the heck?
I
yeah.
was like,
You're
that
right.
doesn't even look like him anymore.
Wrinkles.
Yeah.
No.
He just
Aw, he's
aged
still
10
handsome.
years.
Dude, but
Oh,
I don't know
be
how many of
quiet
you
over there.
were watching. I was watching it in a semi-dark room. Actually, it was completely
Yeah.
dark, and then all of a sudden that happened, and even I was like,
and the whole room was like it was daylight
And
out.
we-
I was like,
Sunglasses.
what is
And
And
happening?
we all aged 10 years.
yeah, we were like,
we look like Marv from.
don't let him kill me.
Oh, that was my favorite. I liked it when
Yeah.
it was bright.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness!
You like Bright.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's my theory. That's all I had to say about the show.
God.
Jad. But why it dipped a little bit at the end for me, and why I feel like we kind of felt it, is when the show was kind of clicking along, was when Jod was actually still on the good side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With Smee.
Shmee.
Yeah, those two.
When they were working
were
together,
hilarious.
it was a beautiful thing. And then the kids were kind of annoying, but they were helping a little bit. But
Yeah.
but when Jod was in charge and he was like a good guy, at least
Yeah.
he appeared to be a good guy. It was working.
Yeah.
So if we go into a season 2, I would very much like to see some kind of a redemption, as we saw in his final scene of this. Like, he's clearly pondering. He's like, "What do? I didn't kill them like I should have, but doesn't matter. All the pirates lost anyway."
Well, did you see him smirk?
Yes.
I
He
mean,
did.
did
that
smirk
gave
at the
it
end.
all
He
away.
did smirk.
So is he good now? Now, if he's good
I think he's got a trick up his
and he
sleeve.
comes back, are they gonna go together? Are they gonna? Is he just gonna? I just want to follow Jod around and.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I feel like they're gonna play him like a Hondo. I feel like
Yeah.
he's a smooth
Yeah.
talker,
Cool.
and he's always gonna try to get out of. He's always looking for an angle out of a situation into a better situation for himself.
Yes, exactly.
So I feel like
That's
that
the way of the pirate.
that is the way of the pirate, and especially him as this pirate. He's definitely a pirate like Hondo,
Oh yeah.
which is
One
why they would be
Hondo.
a perfect mix. One Hondo.
And now that we've established quality pirate feel in like live action Star Wars, you could go, yes, you could dive deep into that. Like, bring in Hondo now. Let's go. And
Right.
let's go all the way with, other connections through that,
Yeah.
crime lords and stuff, and
yeah,
just go that direction now and have fun with it. And you can still stay with the kids. They'll do the Grand Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and then they'll call it the Mandalorian and Skeleton Crew movie.
Right, yep.
That'll be the sequel.
the
but hey,
skeletal Mandalorian movie.
Skeleton Lorian.
a
The
piratey
movie of
tale.
Skeletalorian.
Skeletalorian.
What, Hunter?
I said they need to work on their title game.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Let's make the most basic
Yeah,
title
like, be
ever.
most on the nose as
Yeah.
possible. We really want to get
The
butts and
Mandalorian
seats.
and Grogu.
Remember these guys?
Really? That's the best you can come up with?
Yeah.
It's like
do-
standing in front of an item that everybody knows and announcing the item. This is
Yep.
your loaf of bread.
Yep.
Branding is super easy then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
they-
you could be more creative about it.
I agree.
but it's all in the subtitle.
But at the same time, Star Wars needs that right now. Like they
Yeah.
need like people to remember things you liked in Star Wars. The
But
Mandalorian and Grogu.
But people don't necessarily know him as Grogu. They know him as Baby Yoda.
Yep.
That's a good
Yoda.
point.
But as long as you see his face plastered all over the marketing,
Babs
they'll be
Yoda.
fine.
But Disney
You're good.
doesn't even like. They never said Baby Yoda. They don't even like
Oh,
that term
okay.
because I don't think they coined it or can profit off.
Well, they
of it.
can't control us.
Well,
We'll
They
call them
can't
what we
tell
want
us
to
what
call
to
them.
do.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I mean, I
right.
agree. I agree with you guys, 100%. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much wrapping it up for this thing. Was
Yeah,
there
I gotta
anything-
go.
Yeah, you got to get out of here. We got to get that
I gotta leave.
heck on out of here. But we had a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
the series as a whole. I think we all did here as well. And I think all of us want to see a season 2, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah.
As long as it's up to the
Oh, yeah.
caliber that this one was.
Right.
But a better finale next time.
Right, you got to get Watts to come back. You can't just pass this on to somebody else and let them run with it. If Watts and them come back and can create, in a few, maybe it takes 2 years, 3 years to finish. Let the kids grow up a little bit, age them up, and as long as obviously Jod is willing to come back,
Yeah.
and he's not too busy. Please give us a season 2. Like,
Right.
less is
Yeah.
more. I would wait 2 years with nothing on Star Wars Disney Plus if they could make a great season 2. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
stop throwing 4 shows out there and they're all trash. Save
Focus.
your pennies.
Quality, not quantity.
Give us
Yes.
12 episodes, like Andor or
Give
whatever.
us like 20 episodes.
20 episodes.
Could you imagine that? Just
I would
like
love
little
that.
mini adventures every episode.
Like Clone Wars, like 20, 30-minute episodes. Well, we could live with that. And then maybe there's a special where it's an hour.
or like
with
a
back-to-back
3-episode arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-episode arcs.
With
yeah.
a mid-season finale, an actual mid-season finale.
I mean, it's a lot of work, but they could do it. And then get back to some good Star Wars animation, too. I digress.
Yeah. I digress.
We can talk about
Potato,
more of this.
tomato,
We can
potato,
talk about
tomato.
more in the after stream, which is going to be happening right after.
Right now. I'm
right
out.
after this. But so let us know below. This concludes the spoiler section of the show for Skeleton Crew, episode 8, the finale, the actual good guys. Let us know what you guys thought about it. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it mid? Did you like Skeleton Crew overall as a series? How does it rank up to other things you've seen in Star Wars recently? We want to hear from you. We want to know what you guys are thinking. So let us know below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be jumping out of here. Before we do, thank you, all the guests who've been on tonight. Nick, thanks for being here. Perfect. Absolutely. He clapped and nodded for audio listeners.
Yeah.
And then the Sith Nick, he's always
You're supposed to hype me up, man. You're
Oh,
supposed
sorry.
to be like, oh, he just did a triple backflip.
You're right. He did a complete
a
did what he
misty
said.
flip.
I don't know. Fact check says that's a lie.
Oh, wow.
Fact checker it doesn't get paid to do her job. She doesn't even really do her job, so
Wow.
that's why we don't pay her.
Oh, thanks, Nick.
I'm seeing,
You're welcome.
I'm seeing 7 C's, though.
Why
in
are
the
you still
chat.
here?
7 Seas.
Yep. But Dan, thanks for flying the ship as always.
Anytime, any place.
Any
Literally.
people
Group. Some call him the crab supervisor, Dan.
That's the crab supervisor, pistol-proof pilot, Dan, whatever to you.
Yep.
to you, Bucko.
Bucko.
Pinchers out.
Pinchers out, people. Pinchers out.
I like, but when you put them in, it doesn't work. You have to go pinchers out.
Pinchers.
We got trash crab. We got pinchers out.
Yeah, we got
Auto,
a lot of
we got-
pinchers in this, actually.
Yeah.
They know what's up.
I know what's up. Dan was the showrunner for.
Yeah, it turns
Skeleton
out
Crew.
I am the supervisor.
Yeah, he is the supervisor. Fact checker, thank you for checking those facts as always.
When did she do that?
She checked multiple
Yeah,
facts.
multiple times.
She checked if John Watts made any other TV shows.
Exactly. It was a lot of hard
That's
work.
it.
A lot of hard work.
Well, she
All right.
confirmed God was handsome too, so that's fact checked.
That
yeah,
is John
everyone
Everybody
agrees.
knew that though.
Until the
No.
white light hit him.
Yeah, and then he was
Yeah.
like,
No, he was still handsome
But
then.
we had to have a girl's
Like,
opinion,
I
though.
want you to Palpatine.
yeah. Don't let him kill me.
Yes.
Oh, man.
my
Oh,
goodness.
dear.
Go to bed, Nick.
I'm trying to.
He's trying.
Dustin keeps talking.
I am not. I'm just getting everybody. Hunter, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We appreciate you as always, man. You are Hot Take Hunter. Thank you again. Final thoughts from you.
I'm Realization Hunter. I just totally spaced that there's actually 7 C's in the world. And I was sitting here just
Yeah.
thinking, I had an epiphany. I was like, why do we call it the 7 C? Oh, that's why.
Yep.
Geography is a 10 out of 10 here on Stand Target.
There's also
Nothing else.
seven wonders.
7 wonders. There's a lot of
Yeah.
sevens.
A lot of sevens out there.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that hot take and for
Yeah.
many hot takes during the show, bringing some realism and realization to the show. We need.
I'm
that
just
as well.
glad that all of us here enjoyed this thing.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Thank
a
you.
big win.
Finally.
2025 did not start off with a thud like other years.
2024.
Like 2022, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
here's looking up.
Yeah,
Here's looking at
going
you,
least
kid.
in a slightly better direction. But all right, well, thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget, we're going to be live next week, same time, same place. If you're not a member, definitely join up. We appreciate all the members out there, and we give you some good stuff. And we're going to be doing an after stream right after this. So don't forget about that. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week. Don't forget to always stay on target. Just remember, people, the most important thing of this episode was
Pinchers out.